Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? It looks like we've already completed a fourth level hype train, and we're 20% the way towards completing a fifth level hype train. I'm not sure which of these beautiful, beautiful faces you want to run a train on, but I'm not an option. So, contestants, why don't we tell them why they should pick you? Let me line you
Last
up.
time,
In the top right, we have Celsier. Celsier is a supple, nubile boy who give you those
okay.
those
So
pouty
last
eyes.
session on Warmonger, um, we did. Did we didn't do just my turn, right? I don't. I don't
Bro,
remember what happened the
bro,
first time.
I will let Jake answer that question. Jake, last time on Warmonger, did we do just Cell's turn?
Yeah.
Did we end early?
I'm like, yeah.
I don't know.
Jake, did we end early last week?
I don't know. There was a
I
blur.
I don't remember anything.
It was a blur of just watching Cell do an entire session after taking over the session prior, and we're starting this session with
Sorry.
his stuff.
We did 7 events. That sounds like that was a long turn, which isn't my fault.
Oh, I'm sorry, whose fault is it? Is it Nick's fault?
No, it's Scott's fault, right?
Sorry, is it Jake's fault?
Yeah. Uh. Anyway,
That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
last session on Warmonger, I had an earthquake, and I resolved it by walking into shadows. So we learned some interesting stuff about that. Oh, I remember. Then we learned a lot of lore about the Ashen Orc because we had Lenny do legend lore on the Ashen Orc, and I have a ghost now that's under.
You actually want to have a fun RP with Narin when you actually call to him to come for reason XYZ while we're having the whole crew here right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to have a fun RP about some of the information you found out, but continue, I'm sorry.
We have called in.
Whoa, Snaga, can you crack that whip a little bit harder? Jeez.
There's a fly flying around me. It's bothering my my attention span. There's a ghost underground that was discovered when I was about to help march the army to deal with some like Terran that were like literally stealing my people. But we fucked them up, and they're gonna get fucked up. But for now, I called in the other 2 warlords so we can investigate this ghost business. Because it didn't seem outwardly hostile, but you know, I don't really want to deal with a ghost by myself. I'd probably die. Dude, I'm
That'd be
unlucky.
The Kelpie girl all over again.
Except I was right on that one. They weren't our enemies. I will refuse any other answer.
I don't know about that.
They didn't harm us at all. I stand by that decision. I'm glad you both got charmed. Anyway, so we are starting off with Nara and Varix and Tessel gathered in Fenitaru.
Okay, so one more thing I want to make sure that you're aware of beforehand, because there's one detail that I did not get to give to you. You know that there was an earthquake that happened last time, which I'm going to explain that to Nick in a second because he wasn't here. There's an earthquake that happened last time. I have another fun detail to pop out from that. So
Don't
let
give
me
me more rest.
let me no, nothing else bad. So we're gonna go to Nick to explain, you to give you one last detail that you would have kind of like heard probably the day before their arrival or what have you, and then we're gonna have them arriving and you can go over RP. So Nick, for you, the short version is some time ago, so before your most recent session, some time ago, there was an earthquake that transpired. So your area, your town, whatever, what have you, would have felt the shockwaves of the earthquake, not felt the full impact of it. So the short version is there is a 5% chance that the shockwave can impose an earthquake event in your kingdom. So we can do that right now. We can have you and Jake roll the 5%, or we can have we can do it on your kingdom turn. 5% could be a D100 US chat to roll. It could be a D20 US chat to roll, whatever you want it to be. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's only
I'm
a
not
5%
rolling that
chance.
shit because I will get an earthquake.
Just so you know, Tesla locks like 3 buildings. So because it directly happened in his capital. So 2 buildings. My apologies.
Yeah, I did. They were cheap buildings, like.
But he was able to use some pretty intense magic that I don't think you even know about. he was able to use some pretty intense magic to stop things from being even worse. So Nick, choose a person and a die roll. We'll just say the lowest. And Jake, unless you want to roll it yourself, choose a person and a die roll, and we'll just assume the lowest. So it's a D20 or D100. Choose your representatives.
Sure. Steve, I'll be dangerous. Give me a D20.
Ooh. Jake.
Joey, we'll do the same, I suppose.
D20 for both of you. Jake and Steve and Joey. Cool. 60, safe. 60 is not a D20 though, so Steve still has to roll again. He's playing with your heart on that one. Yep, you're safe. All right, and Steve, you're good. Cool. Awesome. So you guys are both clear. You felt the afterwaves, the shockwave or what have you. There's no other impact that'll happen to your kingdoms of this beyond whatever RP we can have take place as you're doing your events and so on and so forth. Or I might like take an event that was already happening and blame it on the shockwave, but understands that earthquake did not directly impact your kingdoms. Cool. All right. Now that we have that out of the way, Cell, one of the things that you would have discovered is that earthquake that transpired, it did not collapse any of your tunnels. Don't worry. I rolled for if it was going to be in your city, out your city, and all that. It just landed in your city, and you already know the effects. So don't worry about that. However, what ended up happening inside one of the tunnels is they started noticing movement down in the darkness. Upon closer investigation, they realized that it seemed as though there is life moving down there.
We know.
Wait, what do you know?
We fought ant people before.
No.
Different
No.
life. Okay.
Yeah. So what ends up coming out of the tunnels not long afterwards is a similar to what you had encountered beforehand, but a large-sized being that seems to be comprised of rock is pulling itself up from deep down inside the tunnels. Now, this may or may not be directly related to the earthquake. Like the earthquake could have unburied it, or maybe its coming up could have caused the earthquake. That's 100% for Nick. Nick is getting the hype train. Well, I didn't even put up the poll. I didn't even announce the poll because I didn't know it was there.
The hype train finish. I put a poll up.
All good. I just didn't even notice it.
It's on chat, you know.
Continuing with you though. So it did erupt itself from the tunnels, but overall it has not been aggressive. It has not done anything to anybody else. But what it did end up doing is, and we're gonna pursue this a bit more when we get to the other kingdom rolls, is it did start moving across the land up there. Any of your soldiers that would have chosen to engage with it have absolutely been thwarted, injured, if not killed. But it does not engage with your people. It only defends itself when it's engaged, okay? This is to all three clans, okay? And we'll get to who it gets to afterwards and what have you. And it's moving around the earth, and it seems to be moving the earth as it goes. Again, details to come as we move on. It's out of Tessel's hands at this point.
Cool. I can.
I just gotta say,
guess on it.
I kind of feel like a drug dealer because I just got this hype train, and Joey, I love you, but it wasn't even 2 minutes. Hey man, you want me to level up that priest for you?
No, that sounds about right.
I could
By the way,
that priest.
Yes,
I can do that, priest.
We can do that.
Okay.
Great.
So, an elemental of Earth has left my lands. Good to know.
All right, cool. We got that part out of the way. All right. That is that. Tessel, you're calling to the other warlords to meet at Fenitaru. Can you please describe the invitation? Like, what details do your... Like, feel free to role play as your messenger, like some throwaway concept, as your messenger that comes to speak to the warlords or what have you.
I have ambassadors that exist.
Fine, the messenger speaks to the ambassador, and the ambassador speaks to... But you can do it, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do Nick first. We'll do him hard because he won.
Cool. Yeah, then.
Level 400.
Gil requests a meeting. Or sends word to you that they have received message from Shadow.
Okay, we can meet in my chambers. Narin has a pretty open platform. He's usually he has like open office hours, you know.
Yeah. I do know. So yeah, Gil arrives. She, I think. No, he. That's what it says on the character sheet.
They arrive.
He arrives and gives you a bow. I assume that's probably what your clan does. I don't really know. Don't pay attention. And
Plie.
Warlord Kushibashi Naren, I have received word from Clan Shadow. The Warlord Shadow requests your presence in Fenitaru. He says his people have uncovered another cavern that was of interest to him. He says he showed you this cavern before. There is a ghost in it that is supposedly non-hostile at the moment. To request your aid against it, or to question it.
So he requests my aid to deal with a non-hostile entity in an unknown cavern.
Yes.
And I'm assuming he's sending this request with some sort of sense of urgency.
Yes. The ghost is uncovered, and if it decides to leave the cave, no one would be able to stop it. He prefers to have it handled as soon as possible, so the ghost doesn't decide to leave its home.
Understood. I will have to speak with my council on what is appropriate for dealing with a ghost.
The warlord has a oil that will allow him to hit the weapon or hit the ghost. I've been told magical weapons may permit it as well, but I am no expert on such topics.
Let's see. Well, I will consult my high priest and make haste to meet with Tessel Infinitari. Yes.
I thank you, Lord Naran. Gives you a bow, and he leaves.
Yes, I'm going to meet Tessel in some secret cave because he has some special oil. Not sus at all.
I only got one oil, boys.
All right. Okay. Well then. That brings us to you, sir.
What? Cthulhu approaches Warlord Vencho, requests a word with him. A message from Clan Shadow. You know how it is.
What's up, bro?
Warlord Varix. Tessel requests your aid in a matter of ghosts.
Okay.
He says it relates to the old people, the ones that you are studying.
I see. And when does he need me there?
He requested aid as soon as you could arrive. He sent a message.
Just myself, or does he want anyone else?
He leaves that up to you. He sent a message to Naran.
I see. Thank you.
Gives you a bow.
He's dismissed, and then Tessel gets a message in his ear that says, "Yo, man, you want me to bring anyone else to your party, or?"
If you have someone that can bless your weapons, it would be helpful if we come to fight.
No, I can't reply, so take a go.
You know, standing sounds are so useful.
They are. If you're
Yeah.
good with them, they are.
Gotta get a third for Nick. You know,
Yeah.
could join all three.
Well, there is that. We have to go seek out a hag or something. Was what they said.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
That sounds dangerous.
But
don't know
I
if
would
I
have
wanna
to
do
pay
it.
a price, and I was like, no, I'm not paying that price, man. But I mean, you know, options there.
I guess so. Yeah, that sounds a little dangerous though. So yeah, we meet in Fenny Tower.
Cool. So you guys are gonna come riding in. I imagine you have your own respective mounts or what have you. Sally, feel free to set the scene. I don't know if it's just inside your typical meeting chamber that has like the big circle thing, or if there's like an establishment at your home that's been building up and building up, building up. If there's an establishment there you'd want them to come and meet you at, again, feel free to set the scene as you're chatting with them, because we haven't had the three characters together in a while, in months, I think, to see one another. So feel free to set the scene, as well as describing the destruction / repair of the city as you go.
Yeah, as you guys are entering, there's like large cracks down like the cobbled streets, where there was one straight roads. It's kind of like the road's now off-centered a bit and like divided. Only the edges of town seem to be really super affected. The library is half collapsed next to the academy, and the barracks is mostly collapsed as well near the garrison. But it seems most of the damage is already being worked on and repaired. The industrious people of Shada do not rest, because they're slaves, of course. Anyway, we have a different meeting room this time than you guys are used to. We actually are meeting in a private like chamber in our big theater that I've set up. That is like a it's like a just a like a small squared room that has like nice windows, decorative, big table in it, right? Just like a quiet place to meet, because the theaters aren't being run at the moment, because people are working repairing some structural damage around the theater.
Okay. Cool. So you guys come in and you take your seats. I imagine you arrive again around the same amount of time. While Nick's character is certainly more of the early bird, get the worm concept, Varix travels significantly shorter distance. So we can say that maybe even the two of you met on the road on the way there. Feel free to have a side chat with one another prior to coming in, or if you want to skip that, we can just go to the meeting for the three of you. We can go over the details, because Jake was there and Nick was not for the past couple sessions, so Nick can be filled in on some important details of what had transpired and what you guys are going over or what have you. So kind of go from there. Did you guys want to have a side chat on the way in, or just jump right to his bit?
I mean, neither of us are particularly chatty characters, so I mean, it would mostly be like, so Varix, what news from the border, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see there being really anything of substance. It would just be, like Nick said, just a lot of small talk kind of thing.
Perfect. Not a problem with me. I like it. Let's keep going. So you boys are heading in and going to chat with Tessel. Tessel are already set the scene for you, so you can kind of come in. I imagine he greets you standing, because he's a very what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say flamboyant, but that's like not the right word. It's gregarious. That's the word I'm looking for. He's very gregarious, so he's very like welcoming in your face, as opposed to like a step back kind of welcome. So he's very gregarious. So he comes up and greets the two of you. You guys can have your warm welcomes, maybe whether it be the warrior clasp or even an embrace, because you guys have actually fought and bled together and whatnot, whatever it might be. And then you can have your seats. You can imagine food or whatever is going to be served throughout the time that you're here. Beverage would, of course, be served. You still, of course, always make sure that it's not poisoned, because of that one time that happened so long ago. And it's actually, Tesla's nice. This is literally why his religion keeps altar boys. It's just to drink the wine before they serve the food.
Okay,
so
this is slander.
Yeah, that's not the only reason they keep older boys.
True. No.
It's also to light the candles. All right. So you you guys are,
We have
are
people with detect disease at hand, okay?
so you guys that's right, because that works for poison, definitely. So
What is
you
detect
guys
poison
go.
and disease. It's the same spell. It's
Detect
nothing.
poison doesn't work if you cast it on alcohol.
It should.
It can, but if you fail your wisdom check, it happened. Ask Norway.
Unlucky.
Moving on. So, you guys are sit down and you have your chat. I'll allow you to lead the way once again, Tessel, because you're the one that's inviting them and you're the one with all the information. Guys, it was just arsenic. He's fine. Besides, I don't think he was the one that got the bad, but I think Roz was the one that got the worst of it. Pretty sure Roz is the one that had to excuse themselves from the breakfast. But continue, sir. I'm sorry.
So we you guys are in my theater, and I have I guess like a as detailed of a map of the area as I could get, and like I assume because of how like how we're on safety concerns a lot in Shado, that we might have like a internal stretch of this cavern if it's old enough. If it's like a mine we've made and maintained, we probably have like some sort of sketch of it. Now, obviously not the newer parts, but of like the older parts. So I have like several maps laid out that highlight the area, I guess.
Okay. Cool.
So I
This is
assume
you
have-
boys, so pay attention. Go ahead, sir.
I assume you've gotten my message of the ghost.
Yes.
Yes. Concerning. I've never encountered ghosts, and you seem to frequently.
I've only encountered one ghost. So
I mean, continue.
wait, no, I've encountered no ghosts. Technically,
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
I know of what you speak. The incorporeal elemental attacked me. I believe this is of a different nature.
Did you kill that thing?
It's in my.
Oh,
I
that's-
like absorbed its soul. Yeah, you know. So,
Mm.
but I this thing is not it doesn't seem hostile at the moment when the miners went down there. But from the reports I've received, it's similar to the place that I met the shadow creature, if you recall.
It's in the same place.
No, one of similar construction.
Is it newly discovered or?
We had just was it uncovered because of the earthquake?
Hold on. Which place you're referring to? My apologies.
Where the ghost is, right? The ghost, was that uncovered because of the earthquake, or is that just like mined into, like we broke down a wall and found it?
Oh, you broke down a wall and found it.
Okay. Yes, we have just mined into it, like the last one, where the former leader of this land mined into it accidentally as well. It seems my land is riddled with these tombs of sorts. I'm not sure.
And has it taken the lives of any of your people yet?
No, it did not act hostilely. My people saw it and fled, as you would expect. Maybe not of your people, Daelric, but, you know.
I see. Do you have it contained now then?
I have people watching the mines, but if it's of the same construction, it can't leave that room, but it could assumingly float through the walls of the cavern and leave unnoticed. It's a ghost.
But it hasn't left since an undetermined amount of time.
Yes. no one has spotted it leaving. So, for what I know at the moment, it remains. I have people down in the mines as well, that are checking it now, and are going to report to us if it's still there. And if it is, we shall march, or we shall walk to it, or ride to it.
And what exactly is our goal? Are we subjugating this ghost? Are we slaying this ghost? Are we parlaying with this ghost?
I hope to parlay with it. It could, if it is friendly and can speak our tongue, it could provide us with secrets that we seek. Me and
Friendly
Varys.
ghost. That is your hope.
And if it
this
is not
thing
friendly
gets
Varys,
loose, you could take the lives of countless.
that is why I've
villagers
called
and
you
things
to.
on the way to your city.
That's why you are here. If this thing is
You're
not,
playing with fire, Tassel.
I can't leave it there. That would do no good. If it is hostile, then we shall slay it.
Well, at least that I can align with.
Barracks. As you know, this creature could provide us answers to questions we seek. Questions that you may help us actually find answers to, Naran. What do you know of the Hathaway reincarnation cycle? That's a question for Scott.
Nothing. I know I have initiated part of that cycle for a lot of Hafue.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Well-
It's like the best. I don't have an answer for you, but I'm gonna give it a try.
Well, that is not exactly what I seek. But if you could ask your high priest on your return to look into this for us, it would be much appreciated.
I will consult a soul day.
Okay.
I mean, that would have been helpful to,
Yeah.
know
well,
that
listen.
before I left, when I could have consulted.
Well, I assume this will take some amount of time, so it is of no rush to find it out this moment. Then let us consort these maps while we wait for news. And then I assume we get my messengers come back telling me there is a ghost still in the cavern, or is the ghost gone, Scott?
No. The ghost is still in the cavern. Yeah. Remember, it was like anchored to the altar or whatever it was that was down there. Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot about that detail. Well,
Yeah. That's why it said it didn't engage with any of your people in an offensive way. Now before, like your people didn't attack it either, because they were like, it doesn't seem to be attacking us. We're just going to back off. But whereas the elemental, they absolutely did attack the big moving elemental thing, right? And they suffered the consequences for it. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yep. So I guess then we are on our way to the cave, and I don't think there's important conversation on the way there.
Nope.
Is there any potions in my town that would be useful for this? Question. You removed my little note about the cryptstone, Scott.
I didn't touch anything inside of your sheet, promise. So I was literally just trying to remember. I always keep forgetting to have Lost Initiative give Daelric a lifetime subscription to Lost Initiative, so I could have the emotes forever at like level 3. But every time I remember to fill it out, somebody gifts me a subscription. So I'm like trying to in before, but like now the focus is back on me. So I'm like, shit, I'll have to finish that application later on. Because if somebody gifts you a subscription, you can't even apply again for it until after that subscription is expired, because they just go 1 or 0. Are you currently subscribed? Yes, we can't do it for you. Fuck. Okay.
Well,
now I have to wait till it ends, and then remember.
If any of you want to buy the least cryptstone, you can attach it to your armor for +1 saves against energy drain attacks, inflict spells, or death spells and death spell.
It's actually pretty huge. Who just dealt with this shit recently? Was that that's Inclame is dealing with that shit right now.
So-
+2 against like those death effects, like at negative levels and whatnot. That's huge. And Nick, we don't need to go over your experience with dealing with wights and wraiths and whatnot. One of the most iconic experiences we ever had as solo DM/PC is against a wraith in a cave from a pre-written quest.
Although
That
I guess
was-
Yeah,
if I'm
I would totally rewrite that. I kind of did use that again. I took the meat and bones of that. I should say the bones of that and did a community session with that like years ago. But I think it was the last one I ever did of the community games, and it was had to do with like walking on dead things. But anyways, go ahead.
Although I guess if I'm gonna be the one tanking the melee of
Cancel.
this creature, I should probably buy it.
It's up to you, bro.
So I'll do that. I'll pick up
Hey,
the crypts on my way out.
You pay full price for it.
I know. All right, 450. I have that money.
Cool.
And that's just
All right.
attached to my armor.
Yeah. So the way it works is because it's a level 1, right? It's the least.
Yeah.
So your armor has to be masterwork or greater, and literally, this is how long it takes.
Okay. So
It's,
I
it's
have
that
that
easy.
now.
It is literally a
So-
standard action. It's like attaching a magnet.
So now I have. Maybe I won't die terribly if it fights us.
All right, cool. So your characters are going to go and find inside of your inside a different cave system because unfortunately, so cut to what Nick was saying before in a snidey kind of way, and to explain to chat and as well as I guess the PCs and whatnot why it is that Tessel's dealing with the shit and they don't. Well, it's kind of a twofold thing. First of all, he is the only one that is like really built on bedrock. Like he's at the base of a fucking mountain. It's all rock down there. It's all like hard earth down there. It's not shifty sands and shit like that, like what Jake has to deal with, right? Or over where Nick is, where yeah, there might be bedrock down there, but he has to get through like tons of soil and roots and whatnot, and probably not as strong of an area. So that's why he has so many like old ruins or whatnot that are kind of like beneath ground and preserved. And then he's the only one digging down there too. Y'all ain't doing any caves, so y'all ain't finding no shit in caves, right? If you deal with undead things, they tend to hide from the sunlight. The easiest way to do that is by not being in the sunlight. So, all right, cool. Let's get into it. You guys make your way down to I don't remember which one it was. I believe you three can see the map, correct? Chat can't, but you three can see the map. So just to finish up chat. Was it actually this one over here? I think I said it was.
I don't remember.
Or it was
what
one of
location.
these two, right?
Yeah, I could just say it's this one. I guess. I don't think
Yeah, sure.
it matters too
Cool,
much.
cool, cool. So the one that's like literally stretching into Paradise Lands. Awesome. So you guys go to the
Mine
cave
now,
system.
actually.
You know what I mean. So you guys make your way down there. It's only a 36-mile travel to get there, which realistically isn't that long. It's relatively quick travel for you guys to make your way there on the back of your Kamatori. The big question is, who did you bring with you? You already he told you in advance what you were doing. Who would you bring with you? I assume you bring like a half dozen guards or something like that, and you don't have to pay for mobilizing the troops if you bring like a half dozen guards, 10 guards, what have you. It's when you're like properly bringing soldiers that I'm like, all right, let's charge you.
Is Rima busy?
Rima was handling some shit for you, but this is not. So I would say Rima is busy, yeah, because she was handling some important shit for you.
And I don't think there's anyone else in my kingdom that could help me.
How about you two boys? Anybody you would bring with you know what was going down? Or are you like, I can't chance taking them out of my kingdom?
I was going to bring Gartesh, but decided against it.
Okay. Nick?
I think all my people are busy. If I remember, we had a pretty intense
Yeah, he did.
last session, so
Yeah.
I don't think I can spare anyone.
Okay,
And I wouldn't
cool.
even want to pull Zara with me because I have foreign troops in my region. So
Okay. So you're really doing a favor for him, traveling all this way, but it is dealing with a specter, so it is concerning. All right. So, as you're making your way downtown, no, as you're making your way down there, just to get a little other clarity out of the way before Nick can get even more on his own kingdom turn, news that he can send back to you. We'll say one of the honor guards or what have you that Nick brought with him happens to be a Hafue, and it's not just like a born Hafue, but like somebody who was actually raised along the border, if not in the Eldamar forests itself. And then later on joined Kushibashi. So when you're talking about the reincarnation bit and you're kind of like asking questions, who would ask these questions? Would it be Narin, or would he wait for like his other person back home, or would it be Tessel?
I wouldn't ask his random guards because I don't know where they're from.
I have no scruples against being like, Hafue, your culture, tell me. This might be relevant.
All right, cool.
And be like,
Awesome.
well, Lord, before you slaughter my tribe.
Oh, this just made it sound worse. Jeez. All right.
It's just Pocahontas, but with Hafue.
Yay, colonialism. All right. Oh boy, this isn't good. Whew, bad take. Bad take. All right, let's keep going. Let's just turn our cameras off. It won't look as bad at the moment.
See, that's why it's always dark behind me, so I can just fade back out.
All right. So, anyways, when you are, kind of like tell me about the thing. So, asking specifically about the reincarnation bit to kind of like touch on that, because this is something that would interest Nick as well. So the Hafui kind of explaining details to you would be like, well, our people believe that your soul doesn't serve one purpose. That when you die, you are reborn again and again until your soul lives out its full what's the word I'm looking for here? Until it lives out its full span. Every person can live to a certain age, right? You can live as a half orc to like 60s or something, and as a human into your 80s or something. Well, souls also have a lifespan, and if you die before your lifespan is up, then you are reincarnated, and you continue to do so. And it's not until after your soul has lived its full life that you are then weighed and measured by the gods and put to your final resting place. Those that have lived a good, positive life will return being born as noble creatures, great winged beasts that control the skies, the monitors that commands the forest floors, or even born into tribes that are known for their purity and their adherence to strict Hafue culture. Those that aren't born, that don't live good lives, are reborn as insects, as vermin, or as Hafue that don't as closely adhere to the ways of Hafue culture.
I'm just kind of like, oh. So you're not a good Hafue, huh?
Perhaps I made mistakes in the past life that I am paying for now and earning for my next.
Good job. Random soldier number 3.
Okay.
Actually, I'm 4. That's 3. Hello.
They got like numbers on their back. That's interesting.
They're all one soldier in a trench coat.
There's 2 halfway stacked up for each person. Double the people and same size.
See, opposite of what Jake does. Jake just gets a troll and starts cutting limbs off. It just saves the limbs and sews them back together to make more. So he just grabs a goblin and he has a goblin walking around and like troll stilts, troll gauntlets.
That's terrible.
I like it. Now I
mean-
just thought of a fucking necromancer that makes flesh golems out of like he keeps like a troll locked in the basement, and he just like severs the limbs to make flesh golems over and over and over and over again out of like it's got free parts,
It's like this semi-ethical necromancer.
right? Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's semi-ethical is probably the right word for it. I guess.
I mean, you could sever pretty much every part, right? Like even if you cut the head off, the head will grow back. Like you just might want to do the torso half at a time or something, you know?
So, we arrive at the tunnel, the mine shaft, one of the many mine shafts in the region.
So you get there, of course, you have a couple of you have the miners that are meant to be down in the mines are off to the side, you know, because they're not down there. There's the structures that they would usually use as like breaks or where the ore and whatnot would be processed or whatever is where they're going to be housed in them, which are the wooden structures here. But you also will have a couple of additional like tents or whatnot, like canvas tents that were erected by your military, kind of like put here to give them a way to hide from the sun because it's summertime and it gets hot around here. So that they're obviously not continuing to work down in the tunnels until this problem has been resolved. Again, they can continue to work, but like more the superficial area. So we're not impacting your income here. Moving on. So they're kind of put to the side, and you can see that the like head miner, the foreman that's kind of in charge here, will come over and properly bow to each of the warlords individually. And it's one of those funny moments where usually they come over, they give you a quick bow, and then they start talking to you, Tessel. But instead they walk up, they give you a full bow, and then they turn and they give him a full bow, and then they turn and they give him a full bow, and they turn back to you because you're the warlord. And they give you a full bow, and it's this like whole thing that lasts for like 90 seconds, like me explaining the scenario rather than just getting to the fucking point. So anyways, then they goes, warlord, we haven't been able to do much in the mines, at your order, only sticking to the surface. But we did send scouts down there again just this morning, and it seems as though the thing is still down there. Though it hasn't pursued as of yet, it still knows when you're there. It watches when you're there.
Then it is intelligence. Intelligence. I can't say words. Well, let us walk then.
Fuck this thing.
And then I start to emit light. And I don't carry a torch with me anymore. Since I have my own light source.
I don't know if these PCs have ever seen you emit light before. So why don't you go ahead and describe what they're seeing? Just because obviously they're very magical. So, but they've never seen you go, oh.
Yeah. So as I say that, there's like a moment of focus and pause as I then like there's like a little bright glow in like the middle of Tessel's chest, and then it just like expands to cover a 20-foot area. 10 feet of bright light and then 10 more feet of dim light.
Okay.
And it's kind of, I guess the hue of it is like a fiery color. It's like an orangish hue to it, I would assume, since it's from a fire elemental.
Okay. Perfect. We are going to have you guys start to go down there as you have this like kind of glowing hue and whatnot, as like I said, the fire elemental hue. And so you're gonna start making your way down into the cave below. As you're making your way down there, you do see like you have a couple of miners doing a bit of work here and there, and they'll all kind of like stop and turn and bow to you as you go. And I imagine of your soldiers, you'll probably leave, like if each of you brought 6, you can imagine you leave probably 4 of each up top. So the full 12 stays up top. But then you each bring 2 of them with you as you're making your way down the tunnels. But even those soldiers aren't going to go the full way in. They'll probably stay within earshot / sight as you get down to the point where one of the other miners down there is like trembling, like standing there, like actively trembling over towards one of the other kind of like tunnel entrances as you're making your way through. And as you approach, they're actively trembling. They bow just to you, not to the others, because they have no fucking clue who they are. Just a lowly miner, right? So they just bow to you and they say, Warlord, I was asked to point you in the right direction. It's right there. It's down that tunnel, Warlord.
Yes. You're good to leave. Go tell everyone, all the other miners to leave.
Like runs past. Okay, and like it runs past, and you can imagine they inform the others to get the fuck out of there. All right.
Try not to have your weapons drawn. If it is amenable to speech, our weapons will make that harder.
Okay.
I mean, it's a naginata. I can't really like
Well,
tuck it in my belt.
you know what I mean. Passive stance, not you know what I mean. Not defensive stance.
Eric just raises an eyebrow at you and he says, I still think this is a bad idea. I've never known him to be rather chatty.
This is not a ghost from the Barren Lands.
You're right. They're all ghosts are different.
I mean, I would say that this lifeless soil that we walk in is barren, but yes.
Thank you, Naran, for your wit.
I'm sorry. Did nobody else appreciate that exchange? Okay, I enjoyed it. I'm not afraid.
I will walk in front of my companions into the section where the ghost is.
Sure. So you go walking through the area, and it's kind of one of those spots where, as you're walking into the area, you can see that everything down here is mined earth. So it's like very roughly hewn, like it's cut back. There's of course supports put in place. The mining practices since this became Clan Shadow versus whatever it was beforehand has changed drastically. So it is much safer down here. That being said, you can actually see that as you're walking through, you can see the area where clearly they broke through into the beyond, because you can see this hewn stone and brick and whatnot that was kind of laid inside there, and the brick has been like broken down, and at some point they were moving it up to the side, like stacking it up, but then where they punctured through and they see that the creatures on the other side, they definitely just like left the mess there. So it makes like a small area of like a rough terrain, if you will, because they definitely did not stop to clean up that whole spot. As you're approaching that area, immediately as you're approaching it, everybody here can feel that like it's cold, right? Because you're in a tunnel underground. Oh, actually, no, tunnels underground don't tend to be cold. Actually, they tend to be very warm, stagnant air and whatnot. So it's very warm down here. So this actually makes it even easier to describe. Stagnant air down here. It's very warm, but then you start suddenly like you feel like a chill kind of run down your back, and it's one of those things where Tesla would feel it first. He would feel that chill absolutely first, and then like seeing his mild reaction, it would almost like instinctively make the two of you have this reaction, even though you're further back than him. So Tesla, as you're walking forward, you can actually have this moment where like you like feel like this moment of pause and almost like a mild shiver, and like when you expel like a breath, you can see your breath down here, right? That being said, the other two of you, same idea. You see that breath and you just kind of whoa, get that like weird shiver. The room that you're looking into, Tessel, I know you have dark vision, right?
Yes, I have dark vision.
Cool. Can you go ahead and roll me a perception if the two of you have dark vision as well? Oh, wait, it doesn't matter. You're glowing.
I am glowing too.
Oh, never mind. My apologies. So all of you can go ahead and roll me a perception check, and your range of light is just 10 feet? 20 feet. Is it 10 and 10?
Yeah, 10 and 10.
And who here has low light vision?
Nick does.
Yeah.
Just Nick? So Nick has 20 and 20 then. You guys have 10 and 10. All right, everybody go ahead and roll me your perception checks. But I want Tessel and Varix have a higher DC. Go ahead, boys.
Well, I have to glow for Nick to be able to see. Perception, I probably failed that.
Okay. So does anybody want to modify it anyway, or are you happy with that, everybody? I assume Varix is happy with it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. So anyways, as you guys are down there and having your kind of like looking about the room, you can see that the what the hell is it called? The chamber that's inside here, any structures that would have been in the chamber, like any amount of wood, has collapsed just because of how many years have passed. Even though it's been preserved, if you will, from being removed from like a lot of the weathering from beyond. You can also imagine it's not perfectly preserved because there's moisture inside here. You can see that the wood that remains in the area has a considerable amount of rot to it. Like on one side, you can see the pile of wood, just like the structure to it. It looks like it may have been, because you can see like the sides to it, may have been a bookshelf at one point in time. But it has collapsed under the weight of whatever was stored on it. And whatever was stored on it has either shattered because it was made out of a clay or stone, or it's rotted because it was made out of like a leather or like a paper or what have you. Inside the room, similarly, any furniture that might be inside there is just completely rotted and either collapsed or on the verge of collapse. So it's hard to get the impression of what kind of room this would be beyond the fact that across the room, at the edges of everybody's sights, for you, Tessel, you're like reaching into your dark vision. For you, Jake, you probably can't even see it yet because it's just beyond because you're steps back from him. Nick, you would be able to, wait, hold on. Let me look at Nick's. Oh, no, Jake, you're the one that made, yeah, no, my apologies. Tesla, you'd be able to see it. Nick, you'd be able to see it. And Varix would be able to see, that there is an altar, like a structure, an altar that's across the way from you. But only Varix is able to see that there is a form above and moving around the altar. This form is hard to make out because of the fact that it is it's so wispy and it's so thin in the air and it's so thin in the darkness that happens to be there. And it's important to note that it is dark here. It is not inside bright light where Tesla is and what have you. So there's a darkness here. Jake, do you have knowledge religion?
No.
Okay. You cannot roll it then. So you're the only one that sees it's this form. So the form that you see that's over by the altar, it's not standing on it. It's not standing around or what have you. It's almost like floating nearby it. So the form looks vaguely humanoid, right? In shape, at least at this distance in the darkness it is. And you can see that it definitely has like, drapes coming off of it that almost look like wisps coming off of it. It's hard to make out any details again from how far you are, but one thing definitely stands out again, specifically to you, Jake, is what the hell just happened? There we go. One thing that stands out to you, Jake, is that the eyes are like black pits. Even though it's in darkness, you're looking at a dark figure, the eyes are so dark, they almost like make you continue staring at them. They almost like pull you into them like black holes. All right. Sorry for the long description. I got distracted by something. What do you guys do from here? I imagine, Varix, you say something?
Yeah, you hear like a whisper from Varix, and he says, well, there it is, above the altar. There's something different about this one. Its eyes. Look. This is a bad idea.
Have to deal with it.
Better to just seal it away.
I walk forward still.
You walk towards it. As you walk towards it, you're able to shed more light, meaning that you can see more details. I mean, you could actually see this form. It's now actually inside an area where you're no longer looking at through dark vision to make out its shape. You can actually see it with proper light, right? The thing doesn't shy away from your dim light by any stretch of the imagination, but it does also cause colors to be seen off of it. From all three of you, I imagine Jake once again blinking once or twice to switch from the black and white spectrum of his eyes as they're kind of like adjusting to use the rods instead of the cones or however it works, right?
Yeah,
so he can actually, so he can see the color better. So what you notice is, sorry, clicking the wrong spot. So he notices, remember how we said almost like drapings coming off of it? It's actually not just drapings; it's vestments that seem to be draping off of this figure. The vestments themselves almost seem to trail into a mist-like look to them. As I described, the eyes themselves continue to be almost like black holes, pulling your attention up to them. You actually find it very difficult to draw your eyes away from them. Don't worry about will saves or anything like that right now, but I just find it very difficult. It's almost one of those eyes up here, buddy. Oh, no. Eyes are definitely up here. So the vestments that they're wearing are very colorful. The colors seem vaguely familiar, but are hard to make out because they're even though they're colorful, they're very muted colors, very matte. They don't have as much of a shine or whatnot as you imagine they should have, as they would have had in life. The face is it's an expression of sorrow and horror.
Okay. I will stop at like that little at the point.
Yeah,
I've
but
got
probably about 50 because you don't have you don't have low light vision, right?
No.
So probably about 15 feet away. And it's
will-
looking at you. You can hear, even though it's not said anything to you, it's watching you, and it's clearly watching you with intelligent intent, right?
Yeah.
And you can almost hear this like
I will speak out in Dalish. Hello, Spectre. Are you one of the faith of Shadow that once lived in these lands?
Okay. So you spoke out in Dalish.
That's
Give
who
for
ruled the
me
way before.
moment, please. Give for me moment. GM roll. Oof. So you spoke out in Dalish and you said, "Hello, Shadow. Are you one of the?"
Of the faith, are you one who follows the faith of the shadows that lived in this land before, right?
So you wait for watches you as you speak, and it seems to like intensely listen, grasping onto each word as they go. When your speech stops, there's a couple moments of silence as it continues to watch you. You get this again eerie feeling, almost like it's looking at you hungrily. You almost not very often does Tessel feel like a prey, right? Probably the last time he felt that way. Not even fighting that elemental, right? Last time he probably felt that way was when he was fighting that purple worm, right?
Yeah.
Like he's getting that kind of feeling again, where he feels like I am what's on the menu today because I am a supple nubile boy. So he and Nick's just nodding along hungrily. So he chat catch that. He did it. Watch. Clip it. All right. So anyways, it inhales one more time. It's like and through that same kind of like whispering noise, it speaks back at you. And it's like as it speaks to you, the words seem vaguely familiar, but you're gonna have to roll linguistics to see if you understand. Before anybody else rolls the linguistics, I'm gonna have to look at your character sheets. So,
Can you
pucker up,
check
boys. I'm
mine,
coming in for an
please?
inspection.
'Cause-
Yeah,
No.
I got you.
I have 4 languages.
Yep.
You want me to roll linguistics?
Yep.
That was not a high roll.
You don't even have a rank in it.
I do have a rank. That's
Oh,
why
okay,
I'm
okay. Well, give me a
I
second.
have the ion stone that minuses my intelligence.
Oh, you switched it. That's right.
Well, I'm expecting to potentially have a fight here, so
All right. You can roll linguistics. Oh, you can't roll linguistics, Varix, because you don't even have a rank in it. Oh, actually, you know what? In this scenario, what? Oh, you do. You have 2 ranks in it. My
Yeah.
apologies. You can go ahead and roll linguistics.
So it doesn't speak any of those languages?
Roll linguistics, and I'll describe.
I got like an 11. I can only get a 15.
Where's linguistics?
Under L, Varix. Under L for lose. All right. That being said, anybody here want to luck what you have?
If you want to, Jake, you can go for it. I don't think it's worth it for mine, obviously.
I don't know how much luck we have. We probably need it, but hey, maybe this is important, so I'm gonna roll it.
Go for it. Yeah. I support it.
Yeah.
The 16.
So with your 16, Jake, you are able to understand what it's saying. And this is why the words seem vaguely familiar to Tessel, but not at all to Naren. It's speaking in Dalish, but it's not speaking in modern day Dalish. It's speaking in like an older dialect of Dalish. one that would have been from before. We're not talking about just 100 years before, right?
Yeah.
This would have been a while before, right? Which makes sense because you know that this nation fell a few hundred years ago, right? So it responds saying, you speak. It responds saying something along the lines of, "You speak a funny tongue. Your accent is strange." When when is now?
Is it only me that gets that?
You're the one that understands it more fully.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get parts of it.
he gets like bits of it. Like it seems like he should know what it's saying, but it comes as like it's so heavily accented. It comes as being off. It's like speaking to as somebody from Tennessee. You're just like, what?
It's not. Listen, hey, I'm right next to Tennessee. It's not that bad.
Well, it's actually Tennessee's not really that bad. Though I did, I always tell that story. It's more like if you're talking to somebody from like the backwaters of Missouri, like,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck are you even saying right now?
Right.
I talk good. Like,
Yeah, Tesla. I'm like, he's sitting there and like trying to running through the conversation again.
or
so-
bogans, Jake. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah,
bogans that are
I
roasting in
know
the sun a
what
little
you're
too long. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
100%. Varix will say to you, it wants to know when it is.
Do we have, and do we have an absolute date? Well, so I guess a question that I may know the answer to. Do we know if the calendar this empire used is anything relevant to our calendar?
Oh, you've done lots of research, actually. That's very fair because you did really good research beforehand. So I would say that it would take you a quick moment to do some math, but you know, like how the calendar that they worked around, like matching up to when they fought and fell to Paradel. You have like
Yeah.
give or take, 50 years or so, right? Like somewhere in that range, you have like a general idea. So you could probably, I said 50 years, give or take 25 years, I mean a 50-year gap. You can give a general range of when it is.
Yeah.
To get it accurate, I should say DC 10 intelligence check.
Oh, unlucky. My intelligence.
If you go above that, it's going to be more of okay.
Well, listen.
Okay, you have no idea. You're like, fuck, I wish I brought those notes. Where's Lenny?
Wait,
shit.
So you're gonna take away my base knowledge?
No, it's one of those things where it's like you knew it, but like you don't fucking remember how everything
got it.
lines up.
Fuck.
Like what
Alright.
year are we? Hold on, Sal. What year are we right now in the Chinese calendar? Top of your head.
Whoa. There's a huge difference. I've never studied the Chinese calendar.
Yeah, you never studied that either. You read it once.
I wouldn't say that. I would say I studied it, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You failed the pop quiz.
I'm just unlucky.
Yeah.
It's been I'll say it's been centuries since your empire, the Vidoran Empire, fell.
He listens to the way that you speak, and whatnot, and he thinks for a few moments, and then he puts effort into trying to speak more towards your version of the tongue, so that you'd be able to understand better. Unfortunately, Nick doesn't speak Daelish, so unless you can get it to speak a different language, Nick is kind of removed from this conversation as of right now. Give me one moment. Okay, there is my check. I'm rolling A. I'm going to open roll this.
We can ask, I guess, if he speaks Rook.
Of course I rolled well. It's not combat. It puts a little bit of effort into the way that it speaks, trying to more or less match your vernacular or whatever. And so you understanding it much, much better. Jake, you understanding it fully. And unfortunately, Nick still cannot with it speaking Daelish. It says, has so much time truly passed. And if you guys can't hear me, let me know. Chat should be fine, though.
We're good.
Has so much time truly passed.
I don't have my notes here.
Notes.
have exact
We are a
times.
thing of history. We are now what is researched, rather than researching what was before. Oh.
I have done much to research your people. I'm one of the few who do.
Do you think saying this would win favor?
I don't assume to know what would win favor with creatures such as yourself, when so long lived and kept here for so long.
He'll move forward quickly, like you were 15 feet away, so he'll move forward like a solid like 6, 7 feet, like very, very quickly. And like because he's floating, so he's not small by any stretch. So but because he's floating, he looks even bigger than normal, and he looks down at you. So this is like to be like much
Yeah,
closer.
Probably rack to like draw the sword part of the way through. You know what I mean? Out of like
Yeah.
the fence, but you know.
And he'll say, "Speak of me as a creature, and I will treat you like I'm one."
I apologize. What is your name? So I may refer to you as it.
You can see it opens its mouth to answer, and then it stays like that for a second. Then it closes its mouth. Then it opens again to answer, and again another second or so passes, and then it'll say, I no longer recall."
Then give me something to call you. Pick a new name.
I think names will not matter after this engagement.
Then so be it.
He looks at the other two.
Do you speak the tongue of the Kuruk?
Is it kind of like a hissing laughter? And then he will switch to speaking Karuk. But again, it is not Karuk like is spoken today. Karuk doesn't really have a written language, right? Like there is one, but it's so not uniform. And so the spoken language it alters so rapidly that you step 3 generations out. Think about how much language has changed from your parents to you, or your grandparents to you, or your great-grandparents to you. Now remove centralized education systems and traditions and whatnot that would hold it together. Yeah, it's like they're walking around throwing like early Zoomer lingo at great-great-grandpa, and he's just got like, I don't understand. So he will try to speak to you in Karak, but once again, you won't really pick it up. Jake, go ahead and roll a linguistics check, because you old as fuck, and you were raised by people who are old as fuck. What's up, Zyle? Unfortunately, even you don't truly understand. Oh, Nick. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know if you could. Nick, you speak Karak. I'm gonna let you roll just to give you an opportunity. Do you have linguistics, Nick?
I have 0 ranks in linguistics.
So you can't even roll for this one.
Can I give
Once
it
again-
another go?
No. We'll just let it be as this. Because it doesn't help anybody anyways. So it's again a couple words you might be able to pick up, you think, but it's so evolved so much over the centuries. So
I could shout out in Sylvan or Perrin.
Aaron probably won't help. Right? Because this empire was before Paradel ever became a thing, right?
technically, yes.
Yeah. So I'm not sure Perrin will help. Well, then I could go back to Daelish if I.
You'll have
understand this
to
at
you
all.
have to literally turn to speak to Narin to pull him into the conversation and get his opinions on things. All right. So, anyways, you can just try to speak Dalish.
Yeah. What do you know of the Ashen Orc? I know your people created it. Created them, the soul that would become
Go ahead and roll a diplomacy check. This is no low DC.
That's a low roll. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, thank God.
Do you guys want me to try to luck this? Or do you want the luck, Jake?
No, you should probably try and lock it.
There is no luck. I mean, it's a 27. It's still a pretty decent check for a non-hostile creature. If it,
You say non-hostile. Funny.
well, hostile means it's fighting us, okay? Or near
That's
to
a,
it.
that. No, that's actually not what
I
it
know.
means. That's,
I
yeah.
know.
It says, you presume because you've studied my people. Again, Jake, you get most of Jake, you get all this, so you only get most of this. So Jake, feel free to kind of like walk him through it if need be. You presume because you studied my people and that you live now as opposed to before, that you deserve our knowledge. You do not.
Says that you don't deserve the knowledge.
Of course, Nick, you hear whatever Jake translates.
Naren is just starting to look bored and annoyed.
Oh, so it's Nick.
Yes. And that's why. Are we done prattling?
We are not. How would I earn this knowledge then? I see it as a way to benefit my people.
Kind of looks at you and again still has that like sorrow and horror kind of expression on its face. And it says, I have been here for centuries, removed from the world, forced to suffer my curse. I have grown a hunger that you cannot even begin to fathom. It was
I'm
my
prepared, actually.
curiosity that has stopped me from consuming these morsels. I'm looking to feast. If you wish to make a deal, I'd be listening. Yeah, I have knowledge you seek. You have people that serve you. And you can see its dead eyes, its all-encompassing eyes rise from kind of like consuming your soul by looking at you to the crown on your head, then back to you again.
Can you not feel I contain the soul of the emperors of Vidora?
It's a bold claim to make, and it's
It is-
borderline. It's borderline intimidation. I'm going to take that as an intimidation check.
It is also true.
Yeah, that doesn't change the fact that that is like a bro. The fuck?
Oh, I rolled high too.
Did you want to luck?
No,
Oh, nobody loves you.
you guys should have done it. It could have
Oh,
been
it's
it.
227s. Ah, nobody loves you.
Technically, I can give him a +3.
How so?
I have my aid and other.
Gotcha.
You can look intimidating.
I'm posturing. That's right.
Naren does posture a lot.
That's right.
Uh,
Look at this bluster, boys.
I really needed to intimidate him. Because I'm not going to make a deal to have him eat my people. Okay? That isn't happening.
Give me one
Very
second.
nice.
You have some parent prisoners, right?
No, I don't.
You have
So
one.
True. I have one.
So by Raw, Intimidate does not affect undead creatures because according to Pathfinder FAQ, intimidate in particular is a mind affecting fear effect, referring to the skill, not the spell, or anything like that. So fearless and mindless creatures are immune to all uses of the intimidate, meaning the skill. That being said, that doesn't mean that you can't. That doesn't mean that you can't use the skill to be beneficial conversationally. You're not scaring the creature, demoralizing the creature, and like that.
I'm making a point to this creature that
you're stating a fact. Yes.
I contain the souls of the last emperors of your people. So,
Okay, so you make that statement and it responds saying, I can sense that your soul is different. One that I do not wish to consume. I feel as though it will not digest so easily. So I ask for one of your subjects instead. And looks to either person on either side of you.
I will feed none of my people to you.
So here's
and you will be fed no information. Now, Nick, you've been bored sitting around. Feel free to roll a perception check for your standing inside the room and just kind of taking it in.
Sure thing.
That's pretty solid. Did you want to try to luck that at all, or keep it where it is?
I'll put it up. What do you think, boys?
Do it. I think it might be important.
The sevens don't like you. The sevens on the 27, 17, 27 don't like you. All right, so
felt like fooling there.
Unfortunately, it's hard to make out all the details inside of the room. Although you have low light vision, he stepped in only so far. It doesn't allow you to see the entire room. It doesn't allow you to see all the different nooks, the crannies, the cubbies, the furniture, so on and so forth. But one of the things that does stand out for you clearly is the altar, right? The altar that's there, it is very obvious. And because of the altar, you're not able to see a bunch of the details because your perception check was kind of low. So the DC is a bit higher, but feel free to roll a knowledge religion check about that altar.
You have points in it?
No.
You don't have any ranks in knowledge religion?
No.
The only one that has points in it.
Okay. If you don't have any ranks in knowledge religion, then what I would say is that caps it at a 10. You can't go above a 10. So it's a beautiful roll. Sorry, Nick, but that stops at 10. That's just the rules as written. And because of that, you're able to tell that the details on the altar, they seem familiar to you. Unfortunately, you can't make out what they are. You can't make out the faith. You can't make out the purpose. You can't make out any of that stuff because you only got a 10. But I can tell you that they look familiar to you from what you can see. That's all I can give you. Sorry.
That's when I'll just go, Tessel. What is this? We know this.
Its desires a sacrifice for knowledge.
No, I'm pointing at the altar.
Oh, I look at the altar.
Okay.
Can I roll a religion check?
Yeah, you can.
All right, boys. 14.
Do you want
I'm aiding him, so that's a +3.
Ooh. That's a good point. It's a 17. Now listen, that's another 7. Do you think the
Okay. You succeeded at a check today. It happens.
So you kind of looking past the creature, looking at the trying to look past the creature, just floating up, like I said, and looking down at the altar, trying to make out the details. At first, there are some vaguely familiar symbols, but it's hard to discern what they are, and now you understand why, because it kind of speaks to some of the research that you've done before about yourself. At first, you're thinking to yourself, what the fuck is this? Why does this look so? Oh shit! this is kind of an altar to Mother Jurta, who is the mother of mortals, the mother of magic, the mother of the divine, who happens to be the goddess of the elemental plane of Earth, right? So so there's one of the oldest gods. Comes off as being an altar similar to like a temple of Jurta, who is not a god that you generally worship, any of you worship really. But beyond that, which is funny because you have all these like mines and whatnot. But beyond that, it comes off as strange. Oh, okay. And you realize the reason why it comes off as strange is because it's not strictly to Jurta. It has this like strange alteration to it. Maybe it's not directly to Jurta because you realizing that the alteration, so with your high check and your background, you have a different DC than they would. This is more to like a dust version of Jurta. Like, because Jurta is the plane of Earth, and there's negative energy plane, then there's the plane of dust that's between them, right?
Which
So
Lenny did explain to me.
Yes, exactly. So you're like, oh no, this is like a modified version of a worship to Jurta. There's like some dust here. And you can even see that there's some sort of like symbolism that's inside there that it's really hard to make out because it looks like it's been scratched off. It almost looks like the actual symbol, the actual holy symbol that have been used, has been scratched off by maybe sand or stone or something from the actual altar. Go ahead. And to put together what that symbol is would be difficult to do. Your check is high enough, but you'd have to make a better perception check or investigate it or do research or what have you to figure it out. But go ahead.
No, right. That is it's an altar to Mother Jurta, but it changed, different. It looks to be one of dust. I can explain the planes later, how Lenny did to me, but it is mixed with the negative energy in Earth.
So ask your spirit why it tainted this altar.
I wouldn't say it's tainted.
Well,
And I will switch to Daelish. You're priests. You have the vestments, the shrine. It's one of akin to Jurta, but not of the earth plane, the one of dust.
Everybody roll a sense motive check. The DC's high because it has a pretty set expression on its face.
A pretty low.
Whoa, guys, come on, boys! Like, Nick's the only one with a meh?
Well, I get -2 on it permanently every time I fail. I don't roll it up.
Jesus, boys, Jesus. All right, give me half a tick. Nick, did you want to roll a luck to modify that prior to my rolling my thing?
Zell, Jake, votes.
It's probably wise to know its body language, if you can call it a body language.
Yeah, this is really, if we roll it, it's hurting Jake the most because he's about to do kingdom rolls. So
And I think only Jake has a Winnie's right now. So
I have a Winnie's,
it's too late.
actually.
It's too late, anyways. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
19.
All right. Hopefully, I don't just like absolutely crush you with my roll. So here we go.
He's gonna daddies it too.
It's a 16 versus your 19. Ooh, chat. Do I daddies?
Let it be, Scott. Let it
Chat. Do I daddies? No, because it's a 25% chance for me to beat you. If I meet you, you still win.
Then leave your
I have a
daddies,
25% chance.
for combat. Leave your daddies for combat.
Chat. Do I daddies?
What are you saying, Sal?
Shh, we won't be fighting.
Shall I murder them or shall I? I see one person to say yes in 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoa, shit, Steve. I'll take that as a yes. Yeah!
No, that's not. Why would you say that?
All right. Oh, there's a hype train. Hey.
Wait, it's been 2 hours?
Apparently.
Is it, no,
I
it's
think
every
it might be
hour
every hour now. Yeah. They might have changed
now?
it, made
Oh
it
my
more
God.
often. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you guys roll so bad you can't even help me with the sense motive? Is that it?
Oh.
Yep.
I can't even like it now. I'm at 5. I didn't have my
So-
permanent -2, I could have done it.
You have you're clearly a priest. You have the vestments. This is a temple. This looks to be an altar to Jurda, but a dust version of it. You aren't able, unfortunately, to read any expression off of the creature. Do you follow up with any other lines in that, Tesla, or do you like? Is that where you my interjection?
Does it look like it's thinking?
No. It would respond immediately.
Is this a shrine to Jerta? Or
Yeah, you already kind of said that. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So it responds and says, "Do not presume to know what I was in life. Soon you'll be joining me in death, young prince."
Does this seem like a hostile act? Oh, wait. No,
It's not
I don't
hostile,
have-
but it is very obviously a threat.
It seems we are at a crossroads. Are you sure there is no other way I may please your appetites?
There is only one thing that can satisfy my hunger. It's not what I choose to be, but what I am cursed to be. But as long as I am cursed to stay, you are guarded from what's below. Feed me, or I will wither, and worse things will befall you.
What are you guarding?
You ask questions and provide no reason to answer them.
I cannot in good conscience sacrifice my people if I do not know for what reason I would do so.
Prince or no, you bore me. I must
As
consume.
it's talking,
And
I
I'm
want to
going to
say-
roll for initiative, but you absolutely
Yeah.
did say you prepared an action. Go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry I
I did.
interrupted you.
I'm also relaying to Nick exactly what it's saying as it's saying it.
So I imagine like you're relating to Nick, and you're like,
Yep.
blah, 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 ah! And then you kind of like jump
yeah.
into it.
I'm getting ready to apply my potion
Yeah,
of
we're
blessed
just
weapon
getting
too.
in flanking position, igniting the Naginata.
Yeah, well,
And I did prepare an action, so I will activate my action if that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You explicitly said that. So first we're going to roll initiative, and then you can use your prepared action just to kind of make things work a little bit succinctly. Don't worry, your prepared action is before initiative.
It's a swift action to apply potions from the bandolier, right?
Swift action to apply potions from the bandolier. Potions or oils?
Well, it's an oil, but it's still a potion by potion.
Oils are different than potions. They're two different actions to do. All right. Yeah, oils and potions are not the same thing. All right, give me 1 second.
Let's see. God, why do I gotta roll so low on initiative every time?
Give for me a moment, please. Give for me a moment, please. And for me, give a moment, please.
This is kind of what I expected.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hello, explosion, Steve. Jesus Christ. Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya.
Once more with feeling.
This isn't what I'm looking for. I was looking for the wrong one. I already have the stats of the creature up, but I was looking for the stats for something else.
I don't like the sound of that.
Once more with feeling.
Do you have a favorite terrain?
Once
Yes,
more
yes, I
with
do.
feeling.
So this is boom, and then it's
Once more with feeling.
okay, cool. So
Once
there's
more with feeling.
this is that is plus. Where are you?
Once more with feeling.
Where are you? Why can't I find you? So annoying. Okay, so it doesn't work. I thought that works different than how I remember it. All right, cool.
Once more with feeling.
Here you are. There we go. Cool. That's what I was looking for. All right.
Once more
Your
with feeling.
characters. What are your alignments, real quick? I believe
Neutral
it's
good.
evil. Yeah, neutral good. Nick is probably lawful neutral, and Jake is probably neutral evil.
Yep.
Okay.
Once
Thought so.
more with feeling.
Awesome. And that allows me to finish adding on the rest of my details. Sorry about that.
I'm scared now because it's probably gonna hurt me the most.
No,
Considering
not
I'm good, it's probably not.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Perfect. Now that I have that all set, sorry about that. Jake, your prepare to action. I didn't even roll my initiative. Sorry about that. Because I was getting because there's some stuff that I had to put together for it. Oh, and does this spell affect one more thing, or I assume no to that? No, no, no. Which makes sense. Perfect. Cool. So I just roll my regular initiative. Oh, that's right. I call it tactical initiative, don't I? Tactical initiative has this modifier, which is normal for a creature. Ah!
Oh,
I
God.
rolled absolute dog trash.
I did
God
too.
damn it, chat. Why can I never roll halfway decent? Why is nobody showing up on initiative?
I am.
I am.
Oh, there's leftover ones from before, so I have to delete Kushabashi. Jake's not on initiative. Why is that?
He didn't
I'm on
click
the
his second.
initiative on my screen. On the
Yeah,
screen I'm on.
I don't see you on my screen.
There's
Interesting.
turn order, and I'm the only one on it.
Are you on a different screen than the rest of us? No, you shouldn't be.
I'm on the army screen. I mean, not the army screen. Sorry, the our
Did
kingdom
you roll
one.
an 8? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you here now. This is weird. Hold on. So I should have a 13, an 11, a 10, and an 8. But this, for some reason, doesn't see Narin. Doesn't see you on it. Why doesn't it see you on it?
I don't see Jake, but I
Once more
see
with
Nick.
feeling.
That's really weird. Okay, let me delete this one. Let me add this.
I see Jake
Yeah.
now.
All right, cool. Oh, by the way, of course I'm going to do this. Ah,
I still
waste.
go first.
Not necessarily. What is your dexterity?
18.
Mine is a 19. Okay.
Well,
So I have 19 dex.
I will luck it then.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Once more
So,
with feeling.
I
So
go
many
first.
more times with feeling. So many times with feeling, boys.
I don't want to. I don't want to get attacked flat-footed. Okay.
And you adjusted it. Thank you. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And did you already put up a poll? If you put up a poll, announce it.
I was gonna do after combat.
All right, cool. Sure. So here we go. So this wraith creature is floating. I said it was 15 feet away, flew up like 6-7 feet ahead of you. So it's in the square. Like it's not the square directly ahead of you. It's in the one right behind that, right? So 5-foot space between the two of you, right?
Yeah, it's 10 feet in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah, for mechanical purposes, exactly. And the altar is about 5 feet behind it. So it is ahead of you. I can imagine that Varix is standing like more or less like right a half step behind you, and Narin is more or less right behind him. Because of course they're not. You're the one actively talking. They're just listening. Nobody else has spoken to it. They've just like kind of spoken to each other, right? So I don't imagine they're shoulder to shoulder with you on this one. So you guys are like pyramid formation with it being a 5-foot gap between you and it. Jake, what did you do with your prepared action? Haste, beautiful. I imagine that was just casting the spell haste on everybody. Jesus, fuck you, Steve. Come on. I can't even give them a challenge.
Ooh.
Ah.
Will you cast haste on all of us?
Oh,
shit, Jake,
boy.
that's insane.
Okay. All right.
I have
Okay.
I have a buff for haste. If you don't already have it, I can grab it real quick.
Oh, I have it in mind.
Yeah, you can post it in chat real quick then. Copy and paste it so I can put it on mine.
Yep.
Since,
All right.
haste is so good.
He's over here like friggin' what's his name in Rocky. I don't care if he lives or dies. Steve over there. All right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, haste is pretty good.
I do have one question though. In regards to free actions, can I use that at any time?
Depends on what
Well,
you mean by
only
free
when
actions,
it's
but yes. Oh,
Well, I mean, I've-
no. Most free actions can only be done on your turn, unless it
Okay.
says otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, no. All right.
All right, cool. And remember, you can't use bonus actions. Sorry, swift actions and immediate actions in one turn, one initiative order. All right.
Mhm.
All right, initiative. So is it literally, as he's like, blah, 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 you can imagine like Varric's, throws some licorice at you. He throws some Twizzlers at you, and says, sugar time, boys. Sugar.
I'm wasting rolls. Anyway,
Yeah.
What'd you
got
say?
The +1 from haste in there.
I'm just modding my stuff, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I go first. You have to read
If he
initiative
dies,
order.
he dies.
Scott, you have to read
Huh?
the initiative order. You
Why?
have to resort it just because I increased mine.
Oh, I understand. My
Sorry.
apologies. All right, go.
Yeah, my first action is I apply the oil of blessed weapon to my weapon.
Okay.
This
My
should allow
first
me to-
action. You only have one action.
my first action in this combat.
Okay.
Okay. And then I use my if I use a swift now, I can't use my immediate later, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Well, I will turn on my crown then.
Oh yeah. Roll your blessing.
I don't, it's blessed weapon. It's not. It's
No,
a
no.
potion I have.
Blessing of
Blessings
Vroga.
Vroga.
Oh, I didn't know we had that.
Oh, that's why I was yelling at Steve.
I don't have it in this. Is this
Oh,
something
I don't have it for all players. Here you go. That should work, and hopefully it's
Oh,
the correct
okay.
version.
Now it's in my bar. Thank you.
Make one extra attack as part of a full attack action using your highest base stack bonus. Ugh.
Well, sadly, I can't do that because I'm blessing my weapon. And then I will take a step forwards to be in the front of this creature, and as
Okay.
my crown turns on. So
Okay,
I'm
so you activate
writhed
your
in
crown.
flame. Yep.
And you as you step up using your move action, right? You step up moving your move action, you draw your sword, and then you apply your oil.
Yeah. Well, I take it. Well, I'm assuming it's cooler than that. You know what I mean? Like one corp splash on. All right. Listen.
Honestly, I imagine you literally pour it down the sheath as you're drawing it out, right? So
Yeah. And I guess it
dry it later.
shimmers with the blessings to destroy this creature.
the blessings of Roga, apparently. All right.
True.
That's your turn. Naren. Again, you are standing currently. This room is not huge by any stretch of the imagination. However, you can absolutely step forward and stand too wide next to this creature. So your choice is either to stand up. You have reach anyways, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, so from where you are, you're perfectly fine.
Sweet.
Oh, no, from where you are. So you take a free 5-foot step forward, and then you're perfectly fine. Because Tesla had to move up as well. So you take a free 5-foot step forward. Please go into the hamburger menu in the top right-hand corner of Roll20. Click it, and then for Blessings of Roga, click in bar.
Ooh, what the fuck is that? Blessings of Broker. There we go. All right.
And then the bottom of the screen, click it. 4. You have a +2 to your attack rolls and a +2 dodge bonus to AC and reflex saves, which will. Wait, hold on. Is that dodge bonus that you get from? Wait, dodge bonus is always stacked. That stacks
Yeah.
with what you just got from haste.
Sweet.
So you got a
Yeah.
+2 to hit. That's great.
That's a +3 total, including haste.
Nice. Let me just add that in there real quick.
I hate.
It's just for this one round.
Uh,
It changes from round to round. Nick.
Gotcha. Okay. Melee. +2.
I don't fucking believe you. Fucking.
Aren't very useful for us.
Hate you all.
So I'm going to use a move action, grab my potion of Gold Dragon's Breath. I am going to quaff and vomit Gold Dragon's Breath on this fucker's face.
You drink it, it probably as a free action because it's on your shoulder, right? And then you breathe it as a standard action. Cool. I have no idea how that works. Tell me.
So it is a 15-foot cone. Obviously going to try not to burn Tesla's face off.
Mhm.
And it's a reflex save. DC 16 reflex save for half. And it is 76 damage.
Okay.
That's a pretty great spell.
And it hasn't gone in initiative yet, so I'm assuming it's flat-footed.
It is flat-footed or whatever flat-footed or creature like this could be. So, wait, hold on. Flat-footed doesn't affect. You're not attacking, right? It's a saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That doesn't affect me at all. All right, cool. So I have to make a reflex save, which I have a plus. Cool. /R 1d20 plus. Nope. Plus this.
That's a high roll.
Yep.
So half
'Kay.
damage.
Go ahead and roll the damage for me, baby. It's fire damage, correct?
Yeah.
So I take 13 points of fire damage. Beautiful. Oh, jeez. That's not pleasant. All right. Awesome. Anything else?
Oh yeah, it's magical fire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It hurts.
seems so.
Abso-fucking-lutely hurts. Anything else for your turn, Nick?
Then I would use a move action to ignite my Naginata.
Cool. After that is going to be the creature's turn. We have a
Is it
tick here.
attacking me?
Not exactly. Give me half a tick.
I don't like the sound of that.
I just need to confirm that that I'm doing it right. It's
know.
been a hot minute.
I'm just scared. Let a face take negative energy.
I need all of you to make a will saving throw.
Is this a energy drain attack, inflict spell, death spell, or death effect?
None of those.
Okay. Can I use my immediate action?
Well, hold on. Your token thing should give you a +2. The magic item should give you a +2.
They're
What's your
plus-
immediate action for?
To use Charmed Life.
Oh, yeah, immediate action for Charm Life you can definitely do.
Yeah, that takes my swift for my next round, right?
Nope. At the top of initiative, it resets. Sorry. At the beginning of your next turn, it resets.
Okay, but I've used my swift this time, so I can't use it.
Oh, if you've already used your Swift, you can't do it
Okay.
until your next turn. Yep, so no immediate action.
That's not great. You said it gives me +2. Are you sure? Because
Yep, your item of 99% shot. If you have something you can copy and paste, you're good. But the other two, give me your will saves.
yeah,
Did you
well,
say I had a
because-
Winifred's earlier?
Actually, you did have a Winnie's. Remember last week you got it, right? Am I crazy?
I
well,
can't remember.
I'm gonna use my winning.
I haven't.
service.
I didn't use anything. I don't think so. I'll definitely use it now.
Yeah, you got one last week.
Usually I write them down. For some reason I have not.
No.
I think they
okay,
pitied you having to watch Cell play all day.
True.
I'm just waiting for everybody to roll their will
I'm
save.
just trying to. I'm trying to find the item because I had it noted at +1, but I don't know which one you were looking at. So now I'm not sure.
Would this be?
It's only a 1 cell. I'm sorry, I thought it was a 2. If it's a 1,
I
it's a
think
1.
I think it's a 1, right? Because it's the smallest.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Link me the item to make sure I'm not crazy.
I don't have the link anymore. I had it notated at some point, and I don't know.
All right, what's it called again? Grave what?
It's a crypt zone, is what you called it.
None of. So this effect is because I get a +2 So just tell me if this applies. +2 on saving throws against death effects, energy drain, negative energy, and spells or spell-like abilities of the necromancy school.
And what is this?
The trait.
That does the what?
The trait.
So you probably have the bone. Oh, there we go. Thank you for clicking it. Yep, you get the +2. Yep.
Okay.
Well,
It is a
I'll
material,
roll-
but he also has a magic item that uses the material.
I'm gonna just roll with my Winifred's anyway, and then if it matters, we can figure out if it's +1 or +2. I rolled a nat 1, so I don't think it fucking matters. I hate my life.
That's
Unbelievable.
crazy.
I
Well,
rolled
Varric's
down
made it.
too.
Nick,
Unfucking
yeah,
believable. Wow.
I'm trying to
well,
find. Yeah.
I might
Okay,
be feared,
so-
guys.
Oh, don't worry about that. Don't be scared. Oh, I don't have a damage clicker. I thought I had a damage clicker.
How
Do I
much
have a damage
damage?
clicker on here? Oh, okay, I'll just roll it. /R. There you go, boys.
30 d6. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Oh, that's
36.
Really bad.
Hey. All right, 36. Yeah, look at that. All right, so Varrix, you take half of that, but beyond taking half of that, you also have Deathless Spirit reduces that by 5. So you, instead of taking, what's that, 15, 13, you actually take 8 because it's 8 negative energy. The other two of you
doesn't
take.
apply as well, right?
No. So let me describe this. So as the creature is there, you guys are kind of like falling into combat. It's like, I must, you prattling, I must eat. And like literally as it says that, you're casting your spell. Tesla's rushing forward, popping the thing out and pouring it down the blade. Varrix is like hearing the words and realizing what's happening. Very quickly, Narin kind of like grabs a potion and drinks it. And like as the creature's kind of like, "Ah," he billows fire out, but the fire barely hurts the creature because the fire ends up being blasted back and out of the way by this like expulsion of just like black tendrils of energy reaching out and grasping at the three of you. Now, fortunately for Varrix is the Ashen Orc. He's literally born of the Barren Lands to fight against creatures that are like this. It's in his bloodline. It's in his training and what have you. It's every part of who he is. So his soul is very resistant to this kind of magics. However, that's cool. You also take 5 less. However, as the thing kind of like grasps at you guys, you can literally feel it pulling energy. So the explosion happens outwards, and then it's like goes back into itself, and you can see the creature seems to be like revitalized by this. So it does that. Kaboomy woomy. And then one more thing.
No, this fight reminds me of a different fight with a different undead person.
I don't know who that is or why. Oh, and then as it does that, all of you can then go ahead and this is a fear effect. Make me one more will save.
Really? Wow. I can't wait to fail my +2.
Just first round of combat, fear effect.
Oh,
Pretty standard.
okay. That's a good check. Oh.
Ooh.
Nick runs away for the rest of combat.
Does that include all of your modifiers there, Jake?
Luck it, Jake.
Not with the Winifred's because that was only for one roll. So I'm pretty sure that is it at this current moment.
Do you want to luck because
But
you're at a
I-
point where you think you can?
Yes.
Oh, thank
Cool.
God. I
right.
don't need you running away if it's that type of fear.
So Shado and what's his name? Deadshow are shaken for 1 round. That's all they are. Nick unfortunately is frightened. So Binder frightened. And just to confirm, frightened. Let's see. The source of its fear, it must flee as best as it can. You take a -2 penalty. If you're trapped and you have to fight, you just take penalties. But otherwise, you must flee. Nick, you are going to be frightened for 1d6 rounds. Ask somebody in chat to roll low for you. There are ways around this, but for now, this is what you're stuck with.
Key can go for it.
He can roll him a 1, baby. All right. After that, it's going to go to Varrix's turn. Varrix, once again, this creature is 10 feet ahead of you. And there is space. You can kind of like take a step up and step over in front of where Narin is and to be able to be in melee with it if you want to. However, if you're contemplating getting large size, there's not room in here for that unless you want to use the fighting in confined spaces rules.
Well, I'm going to roll this first, and this will determine what I do.
Keegan does not want this responsibility.
Well, that's useless for this thing.
True.
Oh, Nick, if you roll 6, it's your choice.
Keegan, you're rolling a 1d6.
And Nick, Keegan, sorry, you want to roll a 1. Here we go,
Oh.
boys.
Bye, Nick. See you at the end of combat, Nick. Sorry for inviting you out here to do nothing.
Oh,
Could
it's not
free
necessarily
action,
true.
Blood
There's ways
Rage.
around this. Yep. There's ways around it, too.
And then I'm going to cast a spell.
And you grab Nick.
And then
You've
I am
overreached your
going
wrath.
to use my Swift to drink a potion.
Okay.
Which is Bear's Endurance / Remove Fear 1. Remove Fear. Yeah.
Wait, you drink a potion and it's what?
It's one of those combined potions. It's Bear's Endurance and Remove Fear.
Oh, one of those funky ones we got. Oh, this is so rare, too. All right, cool. So remove fear. Not only does it remove the fear, but it gives you like an additional +4 for... you should have given that to Nick, by the way. But not only does it remove the fear, but it gives you a +4 to all other incoming fear things for the minute or whatever it lasts. But you also have a +4 to your con, but it's enhancement bonus. Rage probably is also an enhancement bonus. Can you check that and see if they stack? I assume they don't.
Wait, well... The,
Rage is an enhancement, I don't think.
you're
I'm
talking
pretty
about
sure it
the
is.
Blood Rage?
Yes.
I don't think it is.
I could be wrong. It might be a morale bonus, actually. I think it's +4 morale bonus. To
Yeah, because then it
Constitution,
wouldn't
actually.
stack with belts, which would make barbarians
Yeah.
kind of suck.
The trick is, so you make other belts.
Yeah,
that trick?
but con belt's one of the good ones. Con and strength.
Nick, remember Pat's character? He's like, all right, cool, guys, listen, I made you a +6 belt of the thing that you want, but don't worry. It's a +6 enhancement bonus, right? But it also has a +6 profane bonus. Divine bonus, or whatever the fuck it's called for you.
It
Yep.
is a morale bonus.
All right, morale, cool. Yep.
So how does the Bear's Endurance work? Does it
Plus
give me
4 to your
temporary health points, or
Constitution.
It doesn't.
+4 to your Constitution, make sure it's not quite temporary health points, it's your actual health points, just like when you rage. Your actual health points increase by 2 times your level. So since you just raged and did that, your con went up by 8. What level are you?
And so it goes up by
10.
20.
Your health pool went up by 40.
Oh, okay.
But if you fall
so-
unconscious,
No? 20.
yeah,
Is that right?
no, 40.
It's not. No. It's because now it goes up by 4, meaning it goes up by +2, which is 20.
He raged, which is +4.
Oh, okay. You're counting his rage in there. I thought you were just talking about the
Yeah.
Bear's Endurance.
And Bear's Endurance. So yeah, his health points with rage and Bear's
Yeah.
Endurance go
Yeah,
up
yeah.
by 40.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I
Alright,
thought
cool.
you were just talking about the Bear's Endurance, which is why I was like,
So selfish Varric says watches Naren run away. Jerk. All right. Anything is that your whole turn?
It
right?
was
You rage as a free
in my
action.
Swift Action Potion Belt, okay? All right.
Uh-huh,
And
sure, yep,
if
uh-huh.
it casts Fear and I run away too, what do you want me to do? Just leave Cell to get eaten?
I would run away. Too.
Nick, next time, hug your friends and swift action drink their belt.
True.
Wait, their arm belt.
So it's my turn now.
Was that everything, Naren? I mean, Varrix? Ooh, you get to choose.
Yeah, that was everything.
Oh, I get to choose. Oh, thank God. Do I do extra AC? Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick 4. So I gain +2 to my attack rolls. How do we add this in easy? Can we just count the +2 after the fact? So it's easy.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Can you just tell me this? Incorporate
And you did
creature's
not
game-
move up, right? Yeah, you kept your distance.
No, I'm next to it already.
Not you, him.
Yeah, Jake's far away. He has long
Yep.
arms.
Yep.
This thing can't be hit by precise damage or whatever it's called, right? It's a ghost.
Yes, no precision damage.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll this so I don't get that. It
Ooh,
can't get crit either, obviously.
Can't critical hit. Aw.
I should have said a swift action to do my full round extra attack. Can I say that now? Is that fine? My key panache? Actually, I
that's-
don't want to do it. Never mind.
You, just so you know, you can swift action at any point in time during your turn.
True.
You're already making a full round attack, so you can definitely do that. You know, it's like you moved and then chose that.
I think I might want to keep my saving throw for now. Does a 20 hit it?
A 20 does not hit for you.
Okay. Let me make sure I tell you what bless weapon does, so you count that. I'll link you bless weapon, so make sure that counts for anything that I might have. Because my weapon counts as like good for passing DR. I can strike the creature, obviously. Yeah, but I don't think there's anything else. So yeah, I hit it once, I guess.
With what,
Or-
the 29? Yep. How much?
Yeah.
13?
13, yeah.
Yep, because that's a solid 13. It's not modified over there. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So you can imagine as the fire is going out and it does a doof and pushes
Does a
back the
22
fire.
hit?
A 22 does hit.
Then it takes the 9 as well. Sorry.
Why is it 22?
Because of I picked number 4, so it gives me.
Oh,
+2
I thought you
plus.
picked number 3. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So so you picked number 4, so 22 does hit. Yep. So, it takes 9. So it takes 21.
Yeah.
So then to re-describe, the fire billows out. It does the whole like pushes back the fire with this big explosion of dark energy, kind of grabs at bits of what they are as people, pulls it back into itself as it's doing so. Daelric is back there drinking a potion, casting a spell to make his arms longer. And it's kind of like overall preparing himself to engage with this thing. And
I get one more attack because of haste.
oh yeah, that's fine. And you can imagine he's already drawn his sword. And he's kind of like attacking the hell out of this thing. And the potion you used on this was a potion that straight up ignores incorporeality, correct?
Yes, it
What did you
bypasses
use?
incorporeal creatures.
What was it?
It's blessed weapon. I posted it.
Okay,
in the
blessed
Zoom
weapon.
chat.
Yep, blessed weapon. Cool. You're
So
good.
It does. I had these for incorporeal creatures. So
Yep. Cool. Beautiful. All that damage. You did a great job. Thank you.
well, if it's evil, I assume it's evil.
I mean, moving on. So it's now what is it? Now it's Narin's turn.
I actually everyone should have had +3 to all fear effects because of my banner ability.
Oh, including you? Is that
Yes.
factored in?
It is not factored into my sheet. I have a +2 against enchantment effects that's on my sheet from my elven heritage, but
Fear effects are so this. So fear is a subcategory. So fear is if you cast the spell fear, it's a necromancy spell. There are fear effects that are enchantment spells. They're not one and the same, right? So the +2 from your race wouldn't apply. But are you saying the +3 from your banner isn't on there?
correct.
So you should actually have an 11, not an 8. Is there anything else that would have modified that to be higher than an 11?
Luck.
You could
don't-
use luck. Don't get me wrong. You have an 11 currently.
Yeah.
You can get as high as a 15. That's up to you. There's nothing else that adds that bonus, just to confirm.
Yeah. So that would be it. But I don't know if Cell would be shaken either at that point because he
I
gets
think-
that bonus as well.
I think.
Oh, if you make the
Yeah.
save, you're shaken.
yeah, for just one,
for one
round,
round.
So it's not that
Oh,
big.
gotcha.
Oh, did you include that -2 on your attack roll? Oh, it says shaken. Yep, I see it. You're
Yeah,
good.
I had it.
All right, so Nick, you have an 11 currently. Did you want to have lucked that to see if you can pierce
Yeah.
through?
All
right.
It wouldn't matter. There's no luck.
Oh shit! There's no more luck. Oh shit! There is no more luck. You guys blew through it all. Ah ha 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 ha! I
Well-
genuinely thought you had luck there. I didn't know.
What was the
Okay.
DC? I assumed the DC was higher than what he could have gotten anyway.
Actually, no, it's not true. The DC was only a 14.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
dang. Oh,
Yep.
unlucky.
Yep. Actually,
Oh, well.
he could have potentially gotten it. Yeah. Because it's just a latent ability. Those aren't the highest of DCs, right?
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, yeah, we could. I could. Yeah, never mind.
Because it's almost like a passive ability for it. So those tend to have lower DCs. All right, moving on. So it's after Naren's turn. Naren, of course, because you did fail by
Yeah.
rules of the word frightened, you must move away from the creature. To read the exact rules to you, you must flee the source of your fear as best as can. If unable to flee, you must fight. You unfortunately at the moment can flee. You take a -2, and you only must flee until you can't see it anymore, right? So you must spend this round at the very least moving away to run from it. So because you're in a cave, the good news is you don't have to move too terribly far. It's like if you run across an open field endlessly, right? You can imagine you probably move back your entire movement speed, maybe a withdraw just to be safe so you can move back. What's your speed, Nick?
Um,
60 if you tasted.
Oh, that's right,
30,
you're hasted.
So yeah.
Yeah, so
I know
60 because you're hasted.
so 60.
And there's a little bit of rough terrain in there, so let's assume your character literally moves back because remember to scrub the rubble or whatever.
Technically,
uh,
if I have to flee at best, I would probably use a charge from my vestment, so I have freedom of movement for the round.
Okay, cool. Absolutely. So for the round, you have freedom of movement, so you move at least 65 feet away, up to 120 feet away. Your choice.
I mean, I'm frightened. I don't.
Cool. So you move back the whole 120 feet, which gets you to like 120 feet is pretty far in a cave network. There it doesn't get you to where any miners are. No miners witness this or what have you. But you do move pretty far back, right? That's your whole turn, unfortunately, as this is something else you could do.
No, I think that's it.
All right,
I
cool.
don't know if,
Okay, after this next round, you don't have to continue running because you can't see them anymore. But you can't get within line of sight of this creature again. So it's one of those things where you can imagine your character almost like moving at half speed, moving closer, trying to be like, I need to check on my allies, But you're like, but I can't even look at that thing. Like you have to imagine your character is literally frightened. All right, continuing. It's the creature's turn again.
Yeah. Is it attacking me?
That's a really good question. It's a really good question, Sel. Could you guys go ahead and roll me a will save?
Oh my fucking Christ, Scott.
Do I get the bonus from that thing?
The same +2 as before, yes.
Get fucked. I use Charm Life. So, 26 will save. Or 27 if it's a death effect or whatever.
Okay. Both of you guys are going to take half.
Oh my god, you're gonna just kill me with negative energy damage.
But you both also take half -5, don't you?
Yeah.
So you guys both
14
only
minus
take 9.
5. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
9's not much.
no, it's not. But the first one did a lot of damage.
Okay.
Luckily, I have the Con Iron Stone.
Yep, you do currently, which is genuinely helping you. All right, cool. There's no other will save effects, Tessel. At the start of your turn, your shaking condition. Oh, was shaking applied to that, by the way? It doesn't matter.
Well, I didn't. I rolled high enough. I removed it.
Well, you didn't.
No, stop it.
Hey, you used
No.
the wrong modifier.
No.
Joey, you used the wrong modifier, Joey.
Anyway, it's your turn, Jake.
Joey.
Joey's on my side on this.
Joey.
I removed the conditions. I didn't think I was gonna have to roll it.
Joey. Oh!
I don't care what he gets.
Oh! Joey's sitting there like, remember that last time you debated me and you thought you won? Guess who won now?
Anyway,
You're gonna apply that modifier, you gotta re-roll.
I think this is silly.
Consistency of content.
It's not consistency. It's
How
me
about
like
this?
clicking a button.
Well,
He's
how about
getting
this?
a 2-man.
Hold on.
It's
Give me half a tick here. Yes. No. 1 minute poll. Here we go. Boom.
doesn't matter. I succeeded. That doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. He re-rolled.
Okay.
Never mind the poll. All right, cool. Oh, wait, is that the poll rules are weird? That's why you got so few votes before. I just realized that as I clicked away. All right, ignore that for now. We'll fix it. So, so you succeeded. Same thing. Varric's your turn. You rolled a 2 again because you're very lucky.
Yes, very lucky.
3 attacks, Jake. Okay, it can't be crit.
Yeah, all right. So I am going to swift action draw my falchion with the ghost touch effect, and I will attack it.
Okay.
First touch? Nice.
I'm power
Okay.
attacking as well.
And you have very long arms at the moment too.
Yes. Doesn't matter. Do you want me to just do all attacks and then the damage, or attack damage?
I think all attacks and damage is fine.
Yeah. Next one.
All these chants to crit. Look at this.
And the next one I will do. I'm doing, what is it? Destined Strike, which I can add half my Blood Rager level to the roll. That's what it says. 3 times a day you can bonus to half your Blood Ranger level. Yep, an insight bonus. I'll do that as well. Which is the same roll as before.
Oh,
1. All right.
2 hits.
Okay, 2 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. You 2 hits, sir. And because of your blood, your ability, there is no 50-50 miss chance on this.
Oh my god.
Okay. Thank you.
52 damage.
Yep. Okay. Now it is Tessel's turn.
I'm no longer shaken now.
Correct.
I will swift. No, I won't swift action. I will keep my immediate action. I will make my attacks. I clicked the wrong. Ignore the precise damage, but I assume they all hit.
So that's
31.
going to be
Oh, I forgot to roll my rogue thing. Doesn't matter.
Yep. Cool. So it's going to be 13, 8, 8.
13.
So 29?
Yeah, 29. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So you guys,
Yeah, I don't think there's any. None of my swashbuckler abilities are useful against this creature.
may I?
Yeah, you're good.
So you unleash all these attacks on this creature, just kind of go absolutely fucking ham on it. And when you do so, you can just see as you guys are ripping and tearing through it, all of the natural immunities that a wraith has, all the resistances that it has, are nothing compared to the preparations that you guys have put into this. The blessed oil allows you to completely connect and rip through its mist-like being, right? The falchion that you have combined with the natural abilities that you have, Jake, allow you to always know kind of like where to strike to find those weak spots and to make sure you deliver very solid blows. So the two of you are absolutely able to just start like ripping this thing apart. This creature isn't a warrior. This creature isn't something that's meant to be an incredible fighter. It's otherworldly nature and divine abilities are what make it powerful. Unfortunately, the two of you were just absolutely too much for it in negating all of its resistances. It literally is torn asunder by your attacks.
It's dead.
Naren, you're frightened, but you have your minds to you. What do? Just remember, you're not panicked. You're frightened. It's two different things. Panicked is, and you run away or cower in fear. Frightened is different.
I'm kind of like, I feel like I'd be like the goldfish swimming up to the bowl and then turning around and then going back up to the bowl, just trying to continuously charge back in. I can't think of anything else I would do.
Sure. So you would spend your turn kind of like as you are running away. You can imagine almost that like internal conflict of like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't run. You don't run. Your enemies run from you, kind of a thing. And you turn back. You're like, I am awesome. Run away. But as you approach, you wouldn't have your You don't have your freedom of movement anymore, do you? Or would you activate that again?
No. Well, I would try to charge full back. So yeah.
Yeah. So you would reactivate it?
Yeah.
Cool. Then you have absolutely zero problems. You're able to get back exactly where you were literally before you left. And as you make your way in there, I can imagine you like slow down a bit tentatively as you're making your way in there, just for story reasons, not mechanically. But as you make your way in, you can see that the creature is already dissipated. Like you come in as like you watch it being torn asunder. Like you can feel that fear kind of like washing over you, but then you also see it discorporeating and falling apart. It's I imagine those last couple of steps are very like tentative and nervous or whatever, but you can remain. You're still scared, but what you're afraid of is gone. Back to RP.
So yeah, I guess I'll charge back in and I'll see it's dissipating, and then I'll do a kind of like a rage, frustrated smash into the ground with my Naginata, and I'll be like, "Is it gone? Is it slain?"
It is gone.
I will silently like just approach the altar and examine it.
You walk up to the altar. You're trying to examine to see if you can make out the symbol or whatever it was that was there before, trying to get a better understanding. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'd like to search the surrounding areas as well.
Oh, huge.
Okay. So looking at the altar, trying to make it out, you can absolutely see it's one of those, it would take time to recreate something like this. It would take a lot of effort, but you happen to be a fairly crafty person yourself. So just based off of what remains of the scratched up, torn up, chipped off and whatnot area, you're pretty sure you can get a good gist of the what the symbol looks like beforehand, even if it'd be difficult to recreate, right? You can get an impression of what it looked like beforehand. So you're able to get that. While you're over there, kind of like getting that, you do also feel a small like vibration, a rumble beneath the altar as this happens. Perhaps it's an aftershock from before.
Be prepared. It spoke of something that was guarding, that was more dangerous than itself. It was rumbling.
You're going to continue searching the altar and trying to make out details. Jake, you said you're going to look around the rest of the room. Nick, what are you doing as you're, again, still frightened in these first few moments, but you have your minds to you. You just have a -2 to your skill checks. What are you going to do in this meanwhile? And Zyle, in case you didn't see me in chat, roll me a D100, please. If you roll a natty 1 on the D100, there's a chance Nick broke his weapon.
It's magical.
There's a chance. It gets a fortitude save. That weapon told me to go fuck myself.
Bro, based.
It didn't just tell me to go fuck myself. It even the difference between that and max was Nick's favorite number. All right.
Too soon. Yeah, I'm mostly going to be trying to center myself because Naren is, that was a fairly new experience.
Okay, makes sense. Not somebody who's typically accustomed to being afraid. But I can almost imagine Naren would retaliate after this in the future with building safeguards so he doesn't have to succumb to that kind of thing in the future. But in the meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and have Jake roll his perception check as he's walking around and investigating things. So he's walking around trying to investigate the rest of the room to see if there's anything of value or interest there. Jake, are you happy with your 16? You're modifying? I assume you're happy?
I want to find something. If there is anything to find.
Go ahead. Ah! Again, like I said beforehand, anything else in this room seems like it would have collapsed, been broken, rotted out, so on and so forth. There is nothing really of note in here. I mean, you're wrong. You do find off to the side metal instruments that would have been used for whatever rituals were done here beforehand, including like sensors and stuff like that. But these are all rusted out and they're not even made out of proper like steel or iron. They would have been made out of things that made more sense at the time, just like brasses and coppers and whatnot. Because you're going back a few hundred years and on the Barren Lands borders, right? So this is like brasses and coppers and other kind of like metal mixes like that. Even some stuff in here made out of lead. But again, this stuff is all beat to shit. Moving on. That's unfortunately kind of all you find inside of here. Cell, you actually do find something as well. You felt the vibration and you gave the warning, but you continue investigating around the altar. There's something kind of caught your attention with your 26 perception check. You're down at the bottom of a cave. Being at the bottom of a cave is notorious for having no, drafts really down here. It's very still. Yet you could almost feel the flames that you have about you, kind of like being wafted ever so slightly by your ankle. Investigating further, you kind of like even getting like a small blade out and running it along the edge of the bottom of the altar, you realize there is a seam there. You think that the altar might be over something. The altar might be able to move.
Varix. Help me push this.
I'll walk over and push it.
I imagine, do you reignite your rage for a round, Jake, to be able to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get your +4 strength or whatever from that, and you can go ahead and Cell, give him the +2.
Yeah, 1 second.
Nick, you would have your mind fully back to you at this point. So I don't know if you would also go over and help. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Add healing potion. Well, you get what you get. Yeah, here is my strength check to assist. 14.
You give a +2. What? Narin, even though he has his mind back about him, maybe he's just like a little self-condemnation, a little self-hate because he felt fear. He's not able to provide much aid. You just get a +2, Jake. Go ahead.
No, I didn't put a +2 in there. But
Okay, so it's a 25. You announced it beforehand, so we're good. So it's a 25. I imagine you're fine with the 25. Did you want a luck just in case?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great check.
With that 25, you guys put your backs into it. So the fact that Narin didn't really help isn't even really noticed by you because you just so easily move this thing to the side. So like, so you move the thing to the side, and you find that beneath it there is a stairwell that goes down. The consistency, Snaga, is if you know what it is before you roll, it's fine. If you know before you roll, because we do that all the time when people have things like penance of the arbiter and whatnot. If you like, I don't have the +1, you can go ahead. And he said it before we saw the result, so it's fine.
It's a pain to add them for like ability score modifiers anyway.
Yeah, we just do mental math after. That's fine. If you announce it first, go ahead, sir. So so you push the side. You definitely see stairwell here. As you push this thing to the side, you absolutely see like spider webs and whatnot being ripped apart, and you can see like all sorts of like dust and whatnot comes in there. As you push it to the side, you can see that air exchange happens that probably hasn't happened in a long fucking time. You can imagine that also originally happened when they first cut into this room here, but then moving this aside allowed for like a exchange of air. So I need all of you to, as it's kind of volume of air comes up, go ahead and make me fortitude saves. So all 3 of you.
I get a reflex to dodge
No,
the air.
It's fortitude.
I tried. I'll charm life it. Fuck it, why not? I didn't need it.
Varric's got a +8 constitution right now. He can't fail unless he rolls a 1. Okay, he rolls an 8, gets a 25. Jesus fuck. All right, so Nick, with your 11, did you want to luck that, or are you fine with it? So Nick, your character get COVID. No, he starts hacking. Unfortunately, just like you inhale a good bit of dust, and so you start like kind of coughing it up or whatever. Most likely what it was is you were just in the bad spot. You were over by the area where like if say Tesla was pushing near the stairs and he was pushing near the middle, you were over by the open area, and so it's like right where most of that pressure and most of that like dust or whatever was kicked up from. So you just kind of like got it blown into your face. It blew all like just kind of like all over your face. And you just like took it, and now you're like hacking up as it went down the wrong pipe. So you a little uncomfortable, but nothing to be too alarmed about. All right, there's a stairwell there. Looking down, Yeah, these stairs are old. The earthquake, or maybe just time, has certainly done its deed here because there are definitely cracks in the stairs going down. But they look stable just from a quick look to them.
I will spend a couple minutes doing a more thorough look with my knowledge of engineering.
At the stairs, the tunnel or whatever, go ahead, roll
Yeah.
it.
I will, see if I feel like these are safe. Whew. I know if they're fucking safe or not.
They're not just safe. They're stylized. It was hard to tell at first because of all the dust and everything that's on them, right? But of course you're shining a light down there, and so you're looking more closely. And the plume of dust kind of like dropped down and everything, but they're stylized. These aren't just like functional steps. These steps are stylized in such a way that like really showcases some fine craftsmanship. I mean, the stairs themselves kind of like have this almost like a like cut in, almost like a hex kind of shape coming from the edge of the steps. So like the sides of the stairs are shorter than like the front of the steps or what have you. You don't go down the stairs, I imagine, but kind of staying at the top and looking the best you can at the top couple of steps that you can see from the angle that you have. You can see that there's actual etchings put into the flat board, like the kick part of the step, like when you're walking up, it's part of your foot would kick slightly. You see there's like etchings put into it that would suggest like there's like almost like a mural, if you could, that's put inside there. Even the walls going down there have like a style to them. It's just like, again, simple lines cut into them that give like a look to it that's truly beautiful. Like you have never ever seen with Natty 20 and with a knowledge engineering, you've never seen or heard of any style like this ever before. This is completely new to you, as far as you understand. And they are very safe. They're very secure. With how well made they are, you don't think time would have done this. It must have been the recent earthquake that caused these fissures into it. And those fissures, superficial, not affecting them structurally at all. Even though the whole cavern, superficial. Any fissures, you're fine. It's all good.
Will you two accompany me further?
He says to Narin.
Ooh.
We took a chance coming into this tomb. We were able to prepare and dispatch whatever that spirit was. Now, I heard it as well. It is guarding something here, and whether it was lying or not, it said, with it gone, this thing will be unleashed anyway. However, if there is something down here, I don't know if now is the best time to tackle it, Tessel. My abilities are all but spent.
We will have to investigate this at some point. It may contain answers that we seek. But if you desire to wait, we can come back another time.
Not what I desire, it's what I think is probably the best option. If you want to press on, I will accompany you. However, know that it may be your end.
I have a way for us to retreat, but it is unsure. I have yet to been. We can wait. We can convene in a number of weeks when we are fully rested and healed.
Maybe too late by then. Should make your decision knowing well that could be now or never. And if it is now, we may be unprepared for it. However, if we wait, we may not get the time ourselves.
Narin would definitely want to chime in on this one.
tired. I am wounded. And I've been afflicted with strange magics. But whatever is awaiting us, as you said, Barracks, we're either going to let it gather its strength and we can confront it on its terms, or we can move forward and confront it on ours.
I can improve our ability to be quiet. It would leave you in some darkness, though, Naran, if we were to.
I feel like there's no being quiet. We just pushed a stone slate across a stone floor and disturbed a centuries-old cavern. If there's something sentient down there, it knows we come.
I cannot sit here and let this go unchecked. If it escapes, it could be far more dangerous.
Enough with the talking then.
I will then walk down the stairs.
Tesla, how tall are you?
I'm a 5'7".
Barracks, how tall are you?
5'10".
And Naren, how tall are you?
I am 5'11" on the sheet.
When you go down there, the overhead in this area is what is it? 6 feet tall, right? Give me 2 seconds.
As Tesla goes down the stairs, though, Varix looks at Naran and then looks at the altar and motions maybe we should just push her back over the thing.
There's nothing binding it in place anymore. Oh, what, to lock Tessel down there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave the dead with the dead.
That's awesome. All right.
Escape, I think.
So, Tessel, you have absolutely no problems. Varix, how tall are you again? 5 what?
10.
So with your boots, your head, I don't know if you wear a helmet or not. You're not right now. Your head is brushing the ceiling, right? Which gives you, if you've ever been like too tall for a room that you've been in, you know what I'm talking. I suppose 2 of you have never experienced that before. If you've ever been too tall for a room that you've been in, it's very uncomfortable because even if you're not bumping your head, you can always get this feeling like you might bump your head. However, Narin is too tall. With the quality of armor and whatnot that he wears, again, the ceilings are 6 feet tall exactly. So with the armor, the boots that he wears alone, his head's touching the ceiling, and he definitely wears a helmet. So I assume he does not remove his helmet. Maybe he does, but he's gonna have to crouch as he walks. He has to keep like a bit of a bend to him, a slouch. So he looks like Grandpa right now. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. So anyways, you guys are making your way down there and walking along. The initial part of the walk, once again, all of the floors down here, all the walls down here are immaculately designed. They are just absolutely beautiful in their design. Just because of like how clean the lines are, how well placed the stones that were put together here are, because there are areas where it's literally just hewn, so like it's naturally rock down here, and they've carved into it very smoothly, or areas where there's like stones that have been laid in place to give like a mural look. They must have like dug further in than laid stones, or just carved it out in such a way to make it look like it's laid stones, whatever they did. And there's lines all along here as well that make it, once again, look very, very, very clean and pristine. And when I said it's 6 feet tall, Varix, it is exactly 6 feet tall. So even though Varix should constantly have that like kind of like, you would realize, so long as you don't walk with a bounce to you, so long as you walk with kind of like a muted step, you will not bump your head. You will perfectly graze across the top. There's no beams that you're going to bump your head into. There's no divots or drops or areas that it's not done as well. There's no unevenness to the steps, or sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little bit lower. It's exactly 6 feet. So if you walk with no bump in your step or just a slight bend to your knees or crook of your back, you could actually still walk down here pretty comfortably. But again, poor Darren can't. So anyways, you're perfectly fine, Tessel. Ain't it nice to be short? So I wouldn't know. Moving on.
I'm quite tall for an orc, though, I guess.
And that's what you tell your parents.
No, I'm not tall at all.
They're like, oh, Sal, we were hoping you'd have the big gene in the family. And he's like, I'm quite tall for an orc. And they're like, oh, why are we paying for your college? All right.
So we are walking down this staircase that is precisely built and is a fine quality of architecture.
So anyways, you guys make your way down there, and you're walking along, and this tunnel goes for a while. And when I say a while, I mean like just walking straight after you've gone down that initial set of stairs, which, by the way, felt like you went down about, I don't know, 3 flights, even though it was just a straight walk down. You continue making your way down the way. You guys walk for about, in a straight tunnel, for about 45 minutes. At this point in time, you've walked down 3 flights of stairs, and you've walked straight for about 45 minutes, encountering no sconces, encountering no rooms, no doors, no structures or anything beyond what I've just described. At this point, kind of, as in the words of Viking, call meeting, right? Would you keep going?
I won't stop. It won't even come into my mind to like just stop. We're committed to doing it, Why would you quit?
Nick?
Actually, could I have a guess on what direction we're walking?
Yeah. That is a survival check, but the DC is not low.
I would say this out loud to my companions. Can one of you figure out what direction we're walking?
Because I think that way is north.
Oh, huge, Nick.
Nick is accustomed to being able to tell which way he's going based off of many different things, including just an internal sense of direction, right? Because of his time in the woods or whatever. But that being said, you guys are both able to determine it. I imagine Naren faster, says it more with more comfort or whatever. You guys are traveling. Thank you, sexiest potato. You guys are actually traveling westward at the moment.
Towards the mountains?
That's eastward.
So we're going
Oh,
towards
sorry, no, my apologies. Eastward at the moment. My apologies.
Towards the mountains. Okay.
Correct.
Cool. I figured that's where we'd be heading, but so I was confused.
Yep. I said it backwards as always. I'm gonna have to go pee in a second, but that being said, you guys continue traveling on. Another 10 minutes of traveling down this pathway where it's like, Jesus, it's literally the same fucking walls for so long. Eventually you come to another stairwell that starts going down. And again, these stairs are very easy to walk down. They're very comfortable to walk down, very finely made as you go down. And you walk down these stairs. This time the stairs go down much further. You walk downstairs, and the stairs are going as far as you can see. 15 minutes of walking downstairs and your knees are hurting you. And the stairs are continuing down as far as you can see. If nobody's chiming in, 5 minutes more of walking stairs, total of 20 minutes of walking downstairs. Stairs are going as far as you can see. And then about another 2 or 3 minutes later, you finally level out. The stairs bring you to an identical hallway, like the one that you're walking at above the stairs. Continuing on down this path, nobody seeming to be deterred. I imagine occasional look about at one another, but everybody continuing on. You walk down this path until we close out a solid 2 hours of travel, since you even just went into the
Same direction?
Maintaining the same direction the entire time.
We're going down.
Down and east.
Okay.
How close is this to? Wait, where are we? Whereabouts are we on the map? Like, where was the
Yep.
thing?
I'll bring you over to the map. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we're quite far from the mountains.
'Cause we were in this city, right?
No, we traveled to the mines over here.
Oh, so we're over here. So we're going. Where are we in my lands now?
No, we're going east.
Yeah, I said
No,
west by accident. It was east is what I meant to say.
Ah, okay, east. All right, yeah.
So we're heading towards the mountains.
You guys are able to walk this tunnel another hour of walking, which is just, again, absolutely insane. If you don't say or do anything,
Do we?
We're committed.
I will say. Well, are we truly worried about a creature now? Yes, we are. This. I would just stop talking and I just continue walking. I say those words, but there's more disbelief that this is going on for so long.
Okay.
Can I try to disbelieve the hallway?
give for me 1 moment, please. I just want to look up one thing.
You guys get a super mega death lightning bolted for 20d6 damage.
No. Okay. So, yep, you are able to continue traveling. So there's another hour passes.
Can I
And
make
another one.
some scratches in the wall.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to do to the wall?
Scratch it a little bit.
Sure,
He-
absolutely.
He carves a Verix into it.
Yeah. You automatically hit with your weapon. Go ahead and deal your damage.
It's an illusion, fall down a pit and die. Seeing Varix do this, I will.
Hold on. Wait till he does it first.
Okay.
I was gonna use a dagger, except I don't seem to have one on my character sheet.
Oh, you just add one. That's not a big deal.
Alright.
In an arrowhead.
What is it? Just 1d4?
Four.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
plus strength. Are you power attacking it?
No.
Um, 8 points of damage. You don't even harm the wall. You don't even scratch it.
I have 50 feet of rope on me. So I will how long were each of these tunnels? An hour of walking miles, right?
Yeah, an hour of walking straight, if for you guys, is 3 miles.
Like every 500 feet, I would cut a piece of the rope off, right? And leave it on the hallway so we can mark our walking.
That's fine. So,
I don't want to power attack the wall, not gonna lie. Anyway, I keep walking.
total of 5 hours of traveling has passed. You guys are starting to get tired. Nothing has changed. Oh, wait, sorry. You did walk down another stairwell. This one only went down for about 3 minutes or so. And then, which is, by the way, imagine walking down a flight of stairs for 3 minutes.
Yeah. It's a big
That's a lot of
staircase.
stairs. Anyways, so, and you guys continue moving forward. 5 hours in total have passed. At this point in time, with the tail end of the travel you had to use to get here the day before and the combat and whatnot, if you want to keep traveling, even just another hour, it's a fortitude save, forced march. DC 10. DC 10, forced march, fortitude save. That's not much.
So
You can probably push for an hour or two. After that, it's probably starting to get foolish. What's up? Nick?
Do we have food on us?
Yeah, you guys always travel with supplies. You're not idiots.
Okay.
I imagine you always have a few days of supplies. You have two survival people with you. One that lived in the forests and needed to survive, and one that lived in the desert and needed to survive.
We're gonna camp out in this hallway.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
So, do you want to push on for an hour or two? Do you want to just fucking say call it quits immediately? It's again, if you fail, all that means is fatigue, and when you rest, you immediately get it back. If you fail twice, however,
Let's push on.
All right, yeah, we can push for an hour.
that's fine. All right. Now, all those came in so delayed. All right. Everybody passes at least the first hour. So you guys choose to push on for one more hour, just to push on a little bit further. And it was worth it for you, because a little over half an hour later, you have no idea how long how far you've traveled. Honestly, your characters don't even know how long you've traveled. I in the metaverse am telling you that it's been over 5.5 hours.
Yeah,
But-
but we don't have a way to track time.
You have no way of tracking that. Exactly. That
I
being
have an
said,
Apple Watch, thank you. So I'm just gonna look at that and see how long it's been.
and then you're gonna
Yeah.
like do math for how many steps it's been.
Yeah. It records my steps, so I know how many steps I've taken.
Oh, good, good. Glad to hear it. Eat a dick. So, you, I hear they're delicious. So, you are able to,
How tested?
you
a
are able
delicacy.
to, what is it? The hallway literally ends at a door. A very, very, very finely crafted stone door, sits before you. However, the door is shut. It's crafted out of stone. There's a mural that is on the door. The mural is, again, absolutely stunning looking. Go ahead and roll me a knowledge religion check, boys, as you're looking at it. I imagine Tesla's been glowing this whole while, lighting
Yeah,
everything
I'm
up. visually.
providing Jake light or Nick light. Ooh, 20. I
Cool. Anybody else?
think the only one with knowledge religion.
I don't
Okay.
have it.
All right. So that being said, you were able to discern that this is once again a symbol to Jerda. Once again, it has that like kind of like twist to it. And here you can actually see the proper sign, the holy symbol of Mother Jerda. Sorry,
it
let me get
changed?
her. Let me get her proper names. No. It's the same sign as what you had seen beforehand.
Right.
So usually the symbol of Jerda, it's usually a jade statue of a pregnant looking woman who's kind of like short, stocky, and very pregnant, right?
A dwarf.
So no, dwarves don't exist. So short, stocky, and very pregnant. But usually it's a jade statue that's comprised of that. But this isn't made out of a typical jade. If you've ever seen it before, it's like a black jade, because jade can come in different colors: black, green, red, so on and so forth. It's like a black jade or an obsidian color to it that it has. And instead of looking like a typical dwarf dwarf, you haven't saying the word, like a short, stocky woman, she still looks, small because she doesn't even come, she comes up maybe 2/3 the way up this door that's before you. And again, the door is only 6 feet tall. So just over 2/3 the way up the door. She doesn't look as thick as a typical Jerda statue does. She looks almost a little emaciated, but still looks pregnant. And again, is made out of this like a obsidian or black jade or whatever it is, kind of like if you imagine the carved into the stone door before you, but it's not embossed or sticking out, carved out towards you. It's carved in. So not embossed. What's the opposite of embossed? Impressed?
Yeah.
Where it is?
Impressed.
The depressed one.
engraved.
And it looks like the stone either was put there and then carved into, or was almost like liquefied and re-solidified or whatever to give this like really cool look to it. Anyways, the door is shut, is before you, and it does in fact have a doorknob. Well, not quite a doorknob, like those like an apartment building style, like one of the latchy ones that you grab onto.
Yeah. Guess I'll investigate it for traps.
Sure, roll a perception check. Also, metallurgy. So looking over the doorknob itself, without even having to make a check, sir, you can tell that metal is very finely crafted. You're guessing it's steel, which is weird to have like a steel doorknob. But
Yeah, that is strange.
right?
Maybe,
Because
like,
you
brass
usually
or
use
something.
brass. Yeah, especially since we later on realized that brass is naturally antiseptic. So like brass doorknobs are great because like they kill all bacteria on them within like what 10 minutes or something. So they naturally sanitize themselves.
I didn't know.
Either way, so yeah, your perception check, you notice that the doorknob is made out of like steel, like looks like well-made steel. Anyways, so you don't notice any traps. You don't notice anything whatsoever on this door. Nothing jumps out at you. I know you guys are obviously feeling paranoid. Does anybody here have like a detect magic or whatever that you want to use before Tesla just rips the door open? I don't want to.
Jake might. He's the only one that has magic.
I'm gonna look over his sheet for him because he's stepped away.
I guess as I'm
He
preparing
has
for
see
this,
invisibility, but he doesn't have detect magic or anything like that.
I will like, if I don't have anything on me, I'll request like some things to like put around my hands to make it like in case this like. In my thinking, steel is a really great conductor, so this doorknob might get really hot or something. So I want the stuff to cover my hand, so like if like I get like electrocuted or something, like there's something between my hands and that, so it's less likely to affect me.
Okay. So you reach out, you grasp the door.
Yeah, and I try to. It's like a hand. It's like a lever.
Yeah. Like imagine walking into your buddy's apartment building, right? Like where your buddy lives. It's like literally instead of a doorknob, it's like one of these ones.
It's a lever. Yeah. Then I will like.
And
push
literally
it down.
imagine its design's like a modern one, like that sleek metal look, like almost has like a like a slight swoop to it, so it's comfortable in your hand, right? So
I will push.
Yep. You grab the doorknob and you twist it, and there's no like it's no stiffness to it whatsoever. There's no like hang-ups, there's no crusty, there's no anything. It just very smoothly turns, and with a push, you very smoothly are able to push the door open. It actually slides incredibly smoothly. Now you would imagine this has not had air exposed to it in a very, very, very long time, that there might be another fortitude save. But that doesn't happen. There is no like sudden expulsion of air one way or the other. As you're pushing the door open, you might come to realize, no, your 20 wouldn't have noticed that before with your perception check. So you didn't notice, but there's actually like little slits inside the door because your 20 is not high enough. There's little slits inside the door that actually keep it so there's like an air exchange between both sides because a big heavy door like that, trying to push it in, not only would you imagine like sliding against the ground, which it's not, so that means it's somehow supported by hinges? What fucking hinges can support a door like... Anyways, so also because of air resistance, there's small little slits that allow air to pass through it. So as you push the door open, it moves very smoothly and easily. We're going to pause for half a tick. I got to pee. I don't know if you boys have to as well. So why don't we take a half a second break and I'll describe what's the other side of that door that you've just traveled 5.5 hours down a stairwell that you found underneath a shrine or what was that, altar that you found inside of a lost hidden room that you found inside of a mine that you found at the southern point of your land. Cool.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Apparently. All right, I'm going to take a piss. We'll be right back. Be right back.